right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. The snow is unfortunately still on the ground here, so that's not great. But other than that,
Unreal.
life is good.
Yeah, it's cold, man. I woke up this morning. It's 49. I got to get the jackets and coats. I'm like, what's the deal with this, man? We're ready for decent weather. 49 is not
I,
ideal.
I can handle the snow in March, but when you get to April, come on, man, we're supposed to be done.
Yeah,
Like
let's
it's supposed to
let's
be
be done with
rain.
this.
April showers, bring May flowers. What
Yeah,
happened to that? Anyways.
agreed. Agreed. There's always something going on. My brother's in Florida complaining it's been 80 the last couple of days, and it's been so hot, and it's been 80 since forever. So there's always something out there. All right, friends, let's get to it. Our gappers list, right? Let's see all the excitement. Oh, hold on, I forgot to click something on here. It's gonna come on in a second there. Forgot to hit the button. So just give it a little bit. There it is. All right, friends, gappers list. We got some stuff in the green. The first two are low flow stocks, as you can see here, under a million. Then we got some other one on here is doing some stuff, BTU, STM. Some of these we know. They don't trade very well, but we're familiar with them. So we'll run through them and see what's causing these guys to be up this morning. And then on the downside of things, we have, again, more red. We had a nice gap up yesterday, sold off for the entire day for the most part. And today we're gapping down at 2% right now in the overall market. But as you can see here, many tickers starting to feel some of that weakness, man. It's just so much going on, Peter, with our tariffs, more stuff happening here with China and the US. It's like we're playing a game of chicken, and nobody's willing to pull over to the side. So it's a big mess coming up if somebody doesn't pull over, it's gonna get ugly. So let's go through your economic calendar. It's exactly what it is. It's a game of
Well, all
chicken.
right.
It's
That's
crazy.
a that's a that's a neat analogy. Yeah, I guess that's sort of what's happening. Look, I mean, I don't know where things are going to go, but in the meantime, it's certainly creating a lot of uncertainty in the markets, right? And that creates trading opportunity, which is good, but yeah, we do seem to be on a little bit of a downward trajectory. Um, from economic calendar, pretty light today. The key thing is going to be at 2 o'clock. So look, at 10, we've got the wholesale inventories. At 11, we've got Barkin speaking, one of the Richmond Fed chair. But really, those are not expected to have any market impact. 2 o'clock, though, the FMC March minutes are released. Normally, the market would move. Now, you never know how much. Usually, when the computers read the minutes, you get a move in one direction and then a slightly slower retracement. That's usually what happens. In this economic climate, I don't know what to expect, right? Because the FOMC decisions are not the major thing moving the markets, like we were just talking about. So rate cuts and rate decisions, I mean, we already know the rate decision. There should be no surprises in the meeting minutes. I don't know what to expect. If I had to guess, I think it'll be a lower impact because the market's got bigger things on its mind. But we still might see that impact. So look, if you're trading this afternoon, especially around 2, just be aware that those minutes are coming out. Because it might affect your trade, maybe to the good, right? And you can take a partial or get some value out of that, maybe against you. But as long as you know what's happening, you can be ready if anything happens. But that's it. Otherwise, pretty quiet today. We actually have earnings starting again, believe it or not. We'll
Yeah.
focus on that. I don't think it's made our gappers list, the one company that I wanted to look at, but we'll talk about it anyways and see what else is moving.
Yep, absolutely. I think I said happy Tuesday. It's actually happy Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I yeah, don't know what day it is anymore. Everything's just kind of blending in together. But yeah, here it is, friends. Let's take a look at our gappers list. We'll dive into let's do the ones in the green side of things first. Obviously, I'm not familiar with some of these tickers, but let's do these two low flows are leading the way. First one on here is VERO. So if I look at VERO this morning, we're up 279%. Hard to borrow, good volume, 12.5 million so far. So the volume is there on this low flow stock. Peter, maybe some news on this one. I mean, it's got some volume today for sure.
I don't know. It looks like they had earnings like 2 days ago. I I'm not sure why it's moving this morning, to be honest. If anybody has news, help me out here, because I don't know why. Carlos, I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why on this one.
Yeah. Sometimes these low flows have no good reason whatsoever. You know what it is, though, on a serious note, is that a lot of people don't cover these stocks, right? They're so low flow.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of analysts covering. So when something happens that they'll cover quickly on another ticker, like if Google sneezes, there's 20 analysts, talking about the sneeze they did. And for this one, there's probably none. So we don't see anything on it.
And it only takes a couple of traders really to start the ball rolling, right? Like, as we see, 12 million shares traded on a stock that has, I mean, its total outstanding volume is only 700,000 shares. So, this is, at a minimum flipped over its float like 12 times, right? 15 times already this morning. So, there's really just a few shares that everybody's batting around here. So, I mean, there might not be news, right? It could just been a couple of people trading shares and the thing went nuts. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. Next one on here is going to be FMTO is the next on deck today. And this is also a low flow, sitting at under a million shares flow here. And we are up 101, 17.6 million shares traded. This is a FMTO Technologies. Not sure what they do, but there looks like to be in the tech sector here. And had a good day yesterday, actually. So if you look at it yesterday, they did get a pop from like 50 cents. Can't wait to hear what that's about. 50 cents to $4, and then back down to $3, and then they're up again here this morning. Peter, what did you find?
All right, let's talk FMTO. FMTO is up here because they had a private placement, $17 million that they've managed to, they issued in shares. So this is a BC company. Look at this. And interestingly, I don't know, maybe there's something in the sector, because FMTO is remember, we've talked about this in the past. This is a feminine wellness company. They create feminine wellness products. We don't need to go into what those products are, because we've talked about it before and it was awkward then. So,
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's moving. The reason I was laughing a minute ago is because I was still researching this VERO, VERO, which is the company name on VERO is actually Venus Concept, and it is another. It's a body, face, skin, advanced products. When I was looking up the company, about the company, it says, staying connected to our customers enables us to be focused on needs, blah, blah, blah. This is the essence of our AI solutions, aesthetic intelligence solutions. So I was thinking, did someone make a mistake? Is Vero moving this morning because they thought this was an AI company and they've just created a new acronym for AI, and aesthetic intelligence has nothing to do with the AI we normally talk about?
Hey, if the fact that it's no other news, you never know, man. These algos are trying to be the first in line. Won't shock me, right? We know they make mistakes. Like, look at the fake news we had yesterday, right? So we know they can.
It's sort of a smart move on their part, I think. They, why not? Let's if people are going gaga for AI, here, look, they're just going to redefine AI, right? They'll put it in a box. I don't know if you could show my screen there. They put it in a box, makes it look like AI, but if you got to read that it's not artificial intelligence, it's aesthetic intelligence. What's that screen?
Wait, let me get your camera big. Hold on, right over here. Here we go.
There we go. I think that's brilliant. A little crafty, little sneaky there, but all right, sure. Way to go, Venus. So, anyways,
great stuff. All right, friends. Again, both low flow stocks, so they won't be on my list this morning. So I'm going to move on to whatever's next here on our gappers list. Again, this is brought to you by tradingterminal.com, friends. You can always get the same exact scanners and plus other ones that are on there that become more alive when the market opens. Next on here is going to be HMY. So if I look at HMY this morning, we are moving higher. This is Harmony Gold Mining, up 10% right now, 330,000 shares traded. Obviously, the last couple of days they've been moving, as you can see here, given our situation at the moment. But as far as day trading, I'm not a fan. I don't like the way they trade. Their price action could be a little weird. Their volume throughout the actual day is very light. So I'm just going to keep it off my list, Peter. Not sure if you like this one, but it won't be on mine.
No, I mean, as soon as we talk base metals, gold, silver, platinum. I don't care what you're mining. Yeah, they never trade well. I haven't. It would be cool to find a mining company that actually trades well. That would be fun, but haven't found it so far.
Yeah. So don't like this one. Yeah, normally all of them, for the most part, they don't have good intraday action,
No,
right? Maybe swing trading, depending on how you feel things are going to go, could be good. But as far as day trading, they're not great. Here's
no,
a
they don't take.
BTU this morning, 11.3 million, sorry, up 11%, 500,000 shares traded only so far. And again, BTU energy company looks like Peabody Energy. I'm not sure what that is,
Body
but
energy.
so
Yeah,
they're moving
they,
today here. Not really a
they
big fan of the way this looks. A lower price stock. I'm not sure. We've seen this before many times. I've never actually traded it, so I'm not sure how their price action is. But I think I'm just gonna find better things to look at than this one.
Yeah,
So
this is they thermal coal. I mean, this is old school, man. Thermal coal. I mean, I guess the reason why I assume it's jumping is that still out of the White House, they're signing all sorts of executive orders. It looks like yesterday Trump signed an executive order to increase coal production, which is what's going to help a thermal coal company like this BTU. So
yeah,
Peabody Energy, you
yeah,
go.
there it is. Um, let's see what else here, friends. HMY we looked at. I think the only one we haven't looked at here, which is probably the best one out of all of these, is STM. STM actually it has been traded well before in the past. They're a foreign company. They're not great, but we have seen some activity out of them, and they actually have provided some opportunities. Again, I'm not sure about today, but as you can see here, their increase in volume is getting larger. Their daily candles are looking much better than what they usually do. Usually they look like this, but today, the last couple of days, really, with all the tariff war, you can see that they're getting increase in activity. So is it going to be better than the stuff that we're looking at? For the most part, right? On the gap down list, I see a lot of really great names. Hood, PDD, Mara, Intel's on here as well. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that. So not inclined to put it on my list, Peter, but they're obviously in play this morning.
Yeah, they had news that they've signed a new partnership with InnoScience Technology to develop GaN technology, which is gallium nitride technology. So I don't know exactly how that's going to function, but this is InnoScience is a Chinese manufacturer of gallium nitride on silicone? No, it's silicon products. So, okay, there you go. So new deal for them. Good news. Doesn't look that good early on in how it's moving.
Yeah, not a fan. All right, before we leave the gap up list, Peter, anything you have that might be gapping up? I know there's some earnings. I'm not sure if they're on the gap up or down this morning, but what do you have for us today?
I'm surprised to see Nvidia gapping up. Nvidia not having a great day yesterday. It was just look good at the open, and well, actually, I tried to trade it short at the open, if you remember, and then it moved up, and it was yesterday was so frustrating for me on Nvidia. It was a great move down, like just picture perfect. And I don't know if you can show like a 5-minute chart or something for yesterday on Nvidia, Carlos, but there's one of those where, remember, just as we were getting off our live feed, I sort of outlining my trade to everybody, and I went short, and I did my typical trade, and I was explaining this in the chat room yesterday, and I did my typical trade. I went short pretty close to the high of day. I got a great partial, got all out right at the VWAP, which is typically where my trades would take me to. If I get a move to a VWAP, that's a great move. And I was really happy with the trade until about half an hour later when this thing just started to drop. and I missed the majority of the move for the day because I got out too early. And as I was talking with Jared, he actually reminded me of something I said many years ago, and I didn't keep in mind myself. Why not just keep a little bit in case of the stock moves? Which, under normal market conditions, the little bit I would keep would be to get to VWAP, because that would be a great move. But these aren't normal market conditions, so why should I assume that they are? And I failed to follow my own previous logic and didn't keep something back, because I could have had a runner that would have been worth more than the value of the rest of the trade, even if it was only 20% of my shares. So anyways, I was like
Yeah.
happy with my trade till I walked away and came back, and then I went, what? And then the rest of the day, I just got myself frustrated. Isn't it amazing how you can have like a good trade and the trade didn't change? My perspective on the trade changed, and I allowed it to affect my psychology negatively, and I ended up being frustrated for the rest of the day. So anyways, great move down on Nvidia. I missed most of it, and I was very upset. But it's gapping up this morning. So you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, like, I don't know where it's going to go. It's back under $100, which is, like I said yesterday morning, I don't think that's a comfortable place for Nvidia. So we'll see if it can get back higher, because it is popping up a little bit. The other thing that is popping up just barely green in the last couple of minutes is Rigetti, our favorite Rigetti spaghetti. It and IonQ, although IonQ is just going red again. But anyway, so it looks like the quantum stocks are hovering around zero. They're just green, just red, whichever side you want. So they're sitting there. My earnings one is red, so I can't talk about that. But we'll talk about that on the other side. Carlos, I don't know where we're going to go today. Tesla's green. How about that? It just went green. Might not be there for long, but
Yeah, they're holding on here, trying to at least. We'll see when the big money comes in where it goes, but it should be interesting today. I mean, more negative news on tariff, right? We were talking about this earlier, with China retaliating this morning with 84 for U.S. Well, I think 104 yesterday, right? So I don't know why they didn't go higher. They went 84. Why not just do like 120? I don't know how they realized those numbers, but it is what it is. Obviously, the market's not reacting positive to it as we're down here. But again, some of these stocks, Peter, like you mentioned, Nvidia went down to 86 a few days ago. Then yesterday 95. Today it's getting to a point where that long-term investors, right, are liking this price tag, given what it could be in a few months from now. So we'll see. Nvidia on my primary list, do like that one. Of course, I'm going to be watching Tesla's the other one I like to watch on deck. So both of those on the list right now. Let's take a look what's gapping down this morning. We got a bunch of stuff on here. We won't be able to go through everything, but we'll look at the first maybe couple of top 3 or so, and then maybe 4, and then we'll hop around a little bit. We got some Chinese tickers, we got some Bitcoin stuff on here, and then we got some tech Intel on the way down there. So let's see what's happening here. AZN is the first one on the list. These guys are down 5%. This is AstraZeneca. They don't intraday trade well, but man, look at the drop on the daily. I have not pulled them up recently. They've been just getting destroyed pretty good here. I mean, I know everything is going down, but these guys look like they've been getting just slammed a bit here because they normally don't move. Like, this is normally the way they trade. They're very quiet in their movement, but the last couple of days you're seeing some big drops here. Peter, any news on this one aside from overall market def lately?
Well, what's the news? It's always the same news, right? The big news these days: tariffs, and more tariffs. So Trump announced that he was eyeballing additional tariffs for pharmaceuticals. Look, I don't know what to say. He announced that potentially he's looking at tariffs. They have not actually been released at this point, but it didn't stop all of the Novo Nordisk, AstraZeneca that we're looking at here, Pfizer, Merck. They're all on the gap down list. They're all sort of gapping down on the threat of more tariffs on pharmaceuticals. There are, pharmaceuticals is an interesting sector because it's one of those that is, I don't know, it's a ridiculous one to follow. I have to admit, I've got a little bee in my bonnet for pharmaceuticals, especially in the U.S. because I don't understand them. But I mean, look, a lot of the big drug advancements have come out of U.S. pharmaceutical companies. I get that. But at the same time, the U.S. provides massive incentives and benefits to like trillions of dollars worth to pharmaceutical companies, which then have the right to sell their product back to the government, especially in the U.S. at a premium. So they get benefits on both sides of the equation, and then international communities provide all sorts of incentives to theirs. Like, this is one of these areas that it's tough to figure out, right? Like, what the actual price is, what they should. Of course, the pharma companies always argue that they've got deep R&D costs, which they do, but they also then, post these, $100 billion profits every year. So I don't know. It's a crazy world. So who knows what's going to happen here? All we can look at is what the trading opportunity is here. And right today, it looks like it's downside if you want to trade these. But AZN is the first one on our list. But yeah, you could pick pretty much any one of these tickers. Probably if it's a foreign ticker, it's more likely to be more deeply impacted. So yeah, you might want to look at those that are dual traded or are based outside of the US.
Yeah, I do like PFE because they tend to get nicer volume and cleaner pre-market activity as you're seeing here. So I think that's one I'll put on deck here. I'm just going to update my list and put PFE on my main one, and then we'll see how some of these make out. Next on the list here, we have J&J, which are they involved in pharmaceuticals, these guys, J&J?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They are, right? Okay, so it's not just baby powder and P. Diddy oil. I mean, sorry, baby oil. It's not just that.
Maybe they need to do a little more development on that. But let's face it, that's a product that's been around a lot longer than current regulations. So, anyways, whole different situation. But yes, I think that's the same reason why they're moving.
Yeah. All right, so here it is, J&J. I mean, secondary list. I know that this could move, but it's not ideal. But PFE is going to get the volume. I think that's going to be slightly better. So I'm going to have that on there. All right, let's hop over to Chinese tickers. I see Baidu on here. I see PDD and some other ones. Let's start with Baidu. And, of course, I'm going to look at Baba, though it's not on the list. It's one that I do like to trade and watch here. So Baidu this morning, down 3.4, 528,000 shares traded. And as you can see here, we're just moving lower. So doesn't look great. Let me take a look at PDD. Yeah, I mean, they're down, but I'm not seeing interesting pre-market activity or price. Baba, on the other hand, this looks good. Look at Baba's pre-market action here. And it's not on the gappers list because it was up this morning nicely, and then since then has dropped all the way to the previous day close. But we got 4.3 million shares traded on this one. So again, this is why I like Baba, because it gets the volume. The pre-market looks decent at times. So I'm going to put Baba on my list instead. What else is on here?
Yeah, all the Chinese tickers they're interesting today because they're I'm surprised to see them where they're at. Obviously, we've been talking about tariffs, of course, because they have this deep impact on the market, and we've seen sort of a disparity now, right? Some are green, some are red. Generally, they've been moving down pre-market from wherever they were, but not as deeply affected as you might think, right? Because of the tariff announcement, which I guess if you're a Chinese company that primarily does your business outside of the U.S., right, like a Baba or a Baidu, for the most part, then the tariffs aren't as much of an impact. You just happen to be traded on the U.S. market, so it's creating an interesting dynamic. I mean, I'm not sure that investors know quite what to do with that, but we're seeing some increased trading volumes on these stocks over the last couple of days. I was just looking at the volumes on Baidu and Baba, and you can see and Billy, they're all up over the last 3 days or so. I mean, they're up across the board. But yeah, they might be interesting to watch, Carlos, because we might get, again, that volatility, which gives trading opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely like Baba this morning. It looks really, really good. So I'm gonna have that on here. I'm laughing in chat with the P Diddy gifts you guys are putting on there. I was thinking about that the other day. I started watching a documentary. I didn't finish it from Netflix. And it's like, man, this guy messed up so many good memories. I grew up in New York City, uptown Manhattan, near Harlem, and that was the area, right? Bronx, all of that. That's where I grew up. So the music, his influence on the music in the 90s was everywhere. Like any artist you heard, Had to do something with P Diddy. So now I look back and I hear these tracks. I'm like, this bastard messed up all this for a lot of people. Like, you can't be supporting some of these tracks anymore after you're hearing all the stuff this guy's been doing. So it's just a mess. But yeah, his touch on everything in the 90s when I was growing up was just so far reaching, man. It was unbelievable.
It
Like
makes
even like non-hip hop stuff, like even if you had a great song from like 112, you can't listen to 112 without thinking about Puff Daddy. It's just insane. It's crazy.
it makes life difficult, isn't it? When there was a song that you really liked, that I mean, you still like it, but you're not allowed to like it anymore.
It's like, God damn. How about this other one? Here's another one. I know we're going off track a little, but it's okay. Tariffs can wait a little bit. Another one is R. Kelly. Like, I mean, who did not graduate to They Believe They Could Fly? Like, I mean, that was our song back in 8th grade, right? So now you think about that and you think of him doing other stuff. It's just these guys, man, messing up our background here a little bit. It's just insane. But that's another artist that just was amazing, as great voice, great lyrics, and kind of screwed everything up for everybody. So just interesting. All right, but yeah. Just that's the way it goes.
Are you trying to make a tie back about trusting gangsters, or what? Where are you going with that?
No, I'm just saying, because somebody we're probably putting the gifts here about. It all started with J&J, and from there we went into P Diddy's baby oil. They lost their biggest customer of baby oil when Diddy went to jail. It started there. It just went downhill. That's what happened. So if you're wondering why J&J is down, it's not because of this pharmacy stuff. No, it's that P Diddy's not getting out. They're not going to be supplying boatloads of baby oil to him. So that's what took place. All right, let's get back on track, friends. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube if you haven't done so already.
That was quite a journey, Carlos. Thank you. That was very entertaining.
Yeah. Absolutely. Guys, heading back to our gappers list, we kind of cover a lot of stuff on here except Hood. I know I saw Hood earlier on here, but it disappeared. And that's what I want to look at because I know Hood can trade very well. So what happened to Hood, actually? Let's go back. Because they're climbing higher, so they're leaving our gap down of 2% here. But this one, it can trade very well. We've seen it do some pretty good stuff, so I do want to add it at least as a secondary, and then we'll see if we can get something going here on Hood. All right, Peter, that covers our gap down. Anything you like this morning that we have not covered?
Well, the one earning is definitely something that I want to mention. Delta Airlines had earnings this morning. And a very mixed picture on Delta. They just gapped green, so they were red, now they're green. Anyways, nobody quite sure what to do with them. They had a great quarter. So their earnings in quarter, they beat top and bottom line, delivering $14.04 billion in revenue versus a $13.96 expected, and over delivered on earnings, delivering 46 cents a share versus the estimate at 40. So that's the good news. The bad news is they have called off their forecast. They pulled their guidance completely, stating uncertainty in the market due to the trade war or the what they called amid economic uncertainty around global trade. So they just will not make a comment as to what their guidance is. They're saying they've pulled their guidance off the table and said that global travel demand has largely stalled and the future of international travel is highly uncertain. So, interesting, statement. And probably not a surprise, but the market never likes it, of course, when you pull your guidance, especially when you say, I don't know what's going to happen, and we refuse to speculate at this point. So it's probably one of the rare times where you could do that with a relative level of impunity because everybody understands why, right? And normally if a company or a segment, if the airlines were to do this, right, they would get hammered pretty heavily. As you can see this morning, they're not because, well, frankly, that uncertainty has largely already been baked in. So it probably doesn't harm them very much by calling it off. And it's actually a pretty smart move, I think, by Delta to get out in front of this early so that they could just, sort of almost take advantage of this environment. I mean, it's not what I'm sure they would like, but it gives them a good backdrop anyways for their decision to pull guidance.
Yeah, it's not looking good, especially for all these travel companies. I mean, that's the first thing when things are starting to look bad. Travel is the one that takes a hit because, again, people just They don't travel on
And
tourism, and companies don't spend on traveling. Like you don't need to go see that
yep.
customer. Have a Zoom meeting. It's not extra money, so they cut that back quickly. So
And it is a segment that the market traditionally looks to understand where things are going. Again, because this is tariff driven and global trade war driven, it's a very different environment, right? Like, we knew to look to it when you had a pandemic and everything was being shut down. It's a very different world when it's due to tariffs and the uncertainty as to what exactly is that going to mean. How's it going to affect things? Like, I don't know. The world is very confusing right now. Like here in Canada, I don't know what you got going in the U.S., but here in Canada, for example, as our government tries to win votes, gas prices have been dropping significantly. So gas
yeah,
prices are down like 25% in the last 2 weeks.
yeah.
So
I heard they're overproducing oil, right? So they're going past their what they're supposed to be doing. So that's usually should bring down prices. But again, we'll see, man. Everything is so agreed, Jared. So unsustainable right now. So let's
yeah,
see
very
where
unstable.
unstable. Let's see how it goes. All right, Delta Airlines. I'm not sure how well this is going to trade. I'll put in a secondary for now, and I'll update my banner in just a second. But going back to our list here, I think that kind of covers it, Peter. Anything else you have?
Oh yeah. Other than that, I mean, there's it's interesting. Things are greening up. Things that were a lot red when we started the program are starting to go green. All right, as Apple
Yeah.
is a good example, right, where it was red when we started this program. Just got to move higher, and it's now on the green side of the ledger. I was, Amazon was in the same boat, little move up. So maybe the market's trying to give us a signal here that it's like, maybe it's not. Maybe we're going to try. Maybe some money can come back. Please come back, money.
I'm
It's-
hoping.
I feel like maybe that's what the market's saying. But again, who knows, right? Again, we got to wait for the open. That open when the big dollars come in, that's where we really understand which direction this market is wanting to go. So I feel like it might be a quiet open for me as I wait for my setups. Again, yesterday, I feel like I didn't quite wait long enough for my setups, and then I didn't wait long enough for them to play out. So today I'm going to try and be properly cautious, unless a big opportunity presents. But we'll see what happens. Other items. I mean, I noticed Wells Fargo. I saw that on the gap down list. I mean, the banks have been, sort of being hit with a lot of this uncertainty as well. But I mean, not more than the overall market. I mean, originally I was starting to look at some banks, but frankly, there's so much else to focus on. The banks didn't seem quite as interesting anymore. But J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you can look at all of those too. They're caught up in the momentum like everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, let's go to you guys and see what you guys have on deck this morning. Let's see here. Manfred, you have PHIO. What is this? I think we might have seen this before. PHIO. PHIO Pharmaceuticals. Man, look at this. This is rocking here. So we're up 158% right now. 34 million shares traded. Hard to borrow. I'm sure the float on this is tiny. Peter, I don't have it handy if you could pull that up, but
yeah, 4 million shares.
Yeah. Okay. So this could be our low flow of the day. We've been getting a lot more low flows lately, or at least it's the only thing that's in the green. So the price sticking out more than what they normally do. But man, this thing up 150 and climbing. Do we have any news, guys, on this one?
Yes.
Man, for you threw what's the news on it?
They're trying to cure cancer. Skin cancer, though, specifically. So they announced positive top line results from a study on one of their treatments to deal with skin cancer. I don't want to say cure because I don't know that it cures it, but anyways, it's got a lot of techno jargon in this news release. But there you go. That's what the news is. This is a company that woke up this morning with a $4 million market cap that now has a $10 million market cap and climbing. So definitely a low flow to the day, right? Not a tiny company. But.
Yeah, it's we'll put it on here. But again, for me, it's not really tradable. Entertainment purposes, like our buddy NMAX. NMAX was doing some stuff, right? Kind of died down here, hit 200 and something, and then back to reality. What happened to WTF? WTF, same thing. Had some excitement here in the
Yeah.
daily and just gone. And then what
What
was
was the other one?
Core Weave. What was
Yeah,
what? I forgot the
J.
ticker name.
There's one that start. Oh yeah,
JNVR.
CRWV. What was it?
JNVR was another one.
Core Weave.
And then
CRWV. Yeah, that was one that we were looking at.
GRWV style. Yeah, yeah. This one
Yeah.
also again just dead right now. So not much going on. Volume is out of it.
Yeah.
You're not seeing a whole lot. So some low
Comes
flows that
over
have
and
been
over.
again very active low flows lately compared to what we've seen. What we normally get. So a lot of them lately. POTR has been mentioned in chat here. Yes, POTR, it's decent, great volume this morning. Has been trading very well. So I will put this on my main list too, actually. So I'll put it on my main list here. POTR is a good one. PFE was mentioned here. We do have the one. Rich, thank you for that one. MSTR, I find it hard to trade, guys. Even with the movement you're getting here, it's not an easy ticker with the price action to get in on. So I'm usually hesitant to have it on my list. Yesterday, a beautiful, beautiful drop here. But again, I won't give them too much credit because everything had this drop. You wanted something like this, you could have had it with Nvidia, right? So a lot of things dropping yesterday. This one, obviously, the number's not the same. This is a $40 drop here. So that is pretty aggressive there. But again, I find it hard to trade at times. So watch it. Put it on deck if you have space for it. It is up 3.1 this morning, volume 1.3 million. The spread is the thing you have to look out for when you're getting into this stock, right? So make sure the spread is in your favor a little bit. And if it's not, you still want to jump in it. Make sure your number of shares are reasonable. Don't go loading the boat there with that thing. Tesla, we do have on deck, so that's good. Check in here our YouTube channel. POTR is good. What else, friends? Trying to navigate through all the oil comments are on here. Let's see if we get down to, yeah, no, I think we're good. Peter, let's go to community events and announcements. You can head over to bearwithtraders.com and always see what's going on there. Click on webinars at the top and it will take you to what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today is Wednesday. So what's going on our psychology day?
It is Wednesday, and that means that we have a psychology day. It's Wisdom Wednesday for everybody, and we, as usual, have our sessions back in action here. Wesley's going to be leading the evening session here at 8 p.m. for all of our elite members. This happens in the webinar room, and he's going to talk about how you master mental resilience. Well, my goodness, do we ever need that in these times? You need it all the time when you're trading, but especially in these conditions, you need it. During the day, though, don't forget, at noon, we've got Dr. Vanessa Charlin, who was a presenter when we were in Vancouver. Fantastic trader in her own right. And she is going to not only talk futures, but this is a prime time for her. Like, she could be live trading. Well, she will be live trading, whether she finds an opportunity or not, but she'll be live trading with you and talking about, the psychology of trading at noon today. So hopefully you join her in the webinar room for that, and it should be a great session. So there you go. Those are our two for today. Dr. Vanessa Williams at noon, and then, of course, Wesley doing the session at 8 p.m. tonight. So that's what we've got. If you want to join us here at Bear Bull Traders, we'd love to have you. Right now, we've got not only the access to the chat room on sale with our spring sale, but we have our platinum deal, which combines the chat room access and the peak capital trading boot camp. And we were just running through some of the details of the boot camp yesterday as a team, and it's going to be another great session. We've actually even expanded the live trading. It's live trading in that boot camp every single day over the course of the 3 months. It's intensive, right? So that platinum deal, you get the boot camp, you get the chat room, and you get the $50,000 funded account that you can make up to $15,000 off of it. And we happily presented a check to an individual on stage in Vancouver who made that money and talked about his story and what he did to achieve that. So we want to give out lots of checks. It's frankly what entices us, and what Andrew's passionate about, helping traders learn how to trade maturely over the long term. So check it out if you're interested. pcapitaltrading.com is the place to go, and you can get all the information about the boot camp, or you can go to bearbulltraders.com and get that combined deal, that platinum deal, which is absolutely your best deal. So if you've got questions, we're all here. We're happy to answer any questions you have about that boot camp. It's I always say it's not for the faint of heart. Like, you really need to be ready to dig deep on your trading. But if you've got that time and interest, you can get a ton of value out of that. You really, really get great opportunity. I want to give a shout out. One of our traders sent me a very nice email that I was just reading this morning that I have to send back. Fuad, who was very focused and really did his homework, took to heart a lot of the messages we were talking about. One of the members of my team in the boot camp sent me a lovely thank you note for the last boot camp that he was attending. So I will get back to you, Fuad, if you're out there listening. But thank you for the note. It really sort of made my morning. So there you go. Hopefully you'll take a look at it. And I said, if you got questions, we're here. Carlos and I are part of that boot camp team, so we'd be happy to answer whatever questions you've got. Lewis is asking, when does it start? The next camp starts on May the 5th. So, Monday, May the 5th is when the next one starts. And we only have one more this year, which won't be happening until September. So if you're interested, you could certainly sign up for that one if you're not ready to go by May. But either way, those are our 2 remaining camps. Lewis, and when does it end? It'll end in August, beginning of August. So basically it's May, June, July are the 3 months for that camp, probably ending the first week of August, and then we pick it up again in September.
Yeah, man. So definitely great. I had my last meeting yesterday, and it was awesome to get with these guys and see their progress again from the start of the boot camp until now. It's just been awesome. So if you're interested, guys, check it out. All right, friends, let's take a look at our list. My list right now: Nvidia, Tesla, PFE, BABA, and I have Amazon on here. Amazon traded so well yesterday, and I have a lot. I want to add PLTR as well to the list. I'll fine tune as we go forward. And then on the secondary list, I have J&J, Hood, and Delta Airlines as well. So let's get some levels in. As soon as Brian and Andrew hop on, we'll disconnect from chat. We'll continue here on YouTube. And looking forward to this market open. I'm hoping it's nothing like yesterday, Peter. We need a good open, man, to take advantage of. We can't have that madness we had yesterday. Anthony's paying attention over in our YouTube chat. He's coming in here saying, is it laptop day? So I think Anthony's probably one of these people that just comes in when it's Wednesdays. He has a Wednesday alarm, laptop day on BBT, and just comes in here for the laptop. So it is laptop day, guys. So we will give a laptop away later today. It might be half a laptop if the tariffs continue to move higher. We'll have to pay half of the laptop. So we'll probably send you a battery and you can buy the
We need the likes, though.
Yeah, we need the likes. How many likes we have right now? Are likes being hit by the tariff news here?
170.
I'm refreshing. 172. Yeah, that's not laptop material. That's definitely not laptop material. We need higher. But yeah, this laptop day, we'll do that later when Andrew comes on. All right, friends, let's do some levels. Let's start with Nvidia here. So high of the pre-market, 110.16 is the level there. So we are set. And then towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. So you are all set right on there. And then towards the top, you have 110, actually a little bit lower, 109.72. It's a great level there. A lot of support and resistance across the board. So you want to have that on there. And I think that's all you need. I don't think we can go too high. I don't expect this to push higher unless some news changes. Like, there's no positive news for this market to go up. Our buddy here did mention that maybe because of liquidity grab, right? Come up to just slam back down for a longer move. Absolutely. That can happen. So we'll have to see. Just be ready for anything. But I don't think we're going to get 109. It'll be very tough. Let's go down to Nvidia here. Tesla was Nvidia. Let's go to Tesla now. Tesla 232.73 looking good there. That's the high of the pre-market. You can also see confirmations there across the board going back into March. A lot of support and resistance there. You also got another area where a couple of days are slamming into opening and closing around 241.07. So I think that's worth noting. And then above that, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. If you're just joining us and wondering why everybody's putting laptop on here, it is laptop day over on YouTube. So hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and you can get it's better than the people that logged in and all they saw was Diddy pictures and oil, and they were like, what's happening? They were questioning, like, what's going on? Just logged in. That was a little more dramatic. They'll have to go back and see what the heck we were talking about. 210 towards the bottom, 210.24, and then also just in case 206.95. Anything is possible, but we got those levels set on Tesla here just in case we do get another drop lower. With the tariffs on pharmaceuticals, PFE and some other ones are feeling it today. J&J as well. Here's one that I like. PFE's tends to be a nicer one with much volume, better volume than J&J, better trading. Low of the pre-market is sitting at 20.75. We're sitting here down 3.2, some good volume. Towards the top, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days plus the previous day close. So I don't think you need to add anything there. If we go to the left, let's see. Man, we haven't been down here some time. PFE overall, besides the tariff and everything else going on, it's just been highway to hell since like August of last year, 2 years ago.
Yep.
Wow, it's no what is it called? Let's do the Brian, the humanity on PFE.
The humanity,
Is this
indeed.
all time low? Where are we here on PFE? I mean, I'm going back 2018. This is like the low of the low. Wow,
Let's see.
2012. Man, these guys, someone should be fired. This is going back to 2011. This is wow. This is pretty low here. So 52-week low on the pre-market low there, and then if we want to go back on the weekly now, we're looking at 20 and 1930. Again, these are really old levels, but I didn't realize how bad PFE has been over the last year or two. So I was gonna say account, but I can't say that. They need something else to get it going again. But that won't go across well on YouTube. We'll get canceled. Let's go to Baba. Let's switch off quickly from that. Let's go to Baba and let's see here. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last two trading days. We need high of the pre-market here at a 109, 106.99. So we'll slam one there. And then towards the bottom, we do have the low of the pre-market at 98.52. And then below that, you do have some lows from yesterday. Now, Baba, we don't have to go too far. We can go right here to January. We do have some levels towards the bottom. We're going to mark down 96.48. It's a good one. And I think once you do that, you're set on Baba. I do like the pre-market action. If you look at it here, it looks pretty clean, really nice, good volume. 5.2 million on Baba is pretty decent, right? So that's great volume there. You definitely want to have that. And then let's see how it goes when the heavy volume comes. Next is PLTR. And here I'm going to remove some of the older levels because we've been watching this one pretty closely and it has been trading very well. I mean, look at the daily here. Many stocks have been doing this, but PLTR especially has been trading really, really nice, especially 2 days ago. I mean, it was just on fire. Unfortunately, data issues did not allow us to trade it as well as we wanted to, but it still traded excellent as far as the move. 82.33 high of the pre-market, and then above that on the daily, you can see you're surrounded by the highs and lows. So don't got to add too many levels on here, guys. Don't make it complicated. Keep it nice and simple. Towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, plus the previous day close. And right where the price action is at right now, you are seeing an area that I think is worth marking, that 80.14. If you draw a line across the board there on the daily, you can see a lot of support happening there as well. So we'll mark that there. And even in the pre-market now, you're seeing as well how much touches you have on this also here in the pre-market. So 80.14, good to have on there as well. All right, that's my list. Again, a little bit long today. I'm watching a lot this morning. I'm going to be patient and just kind of wait for the setup. Peter, tell us what our team is watching today.
All right, our team is starting to get their list in place here, and yeah, they're watching a lot too. So Thor's going to be looking at Apple, AMD, and Tesla. Mike is going to be watching Tesla and Nvidia and keeping an eye on the scanners. I understand that. Laney's going to be watching Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, and Pfizer. Eamon's got a potential long in Apple that he's looking at. Pierre's going to be looking at Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR, Apple, and PFE. Brendan's going to be watching Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, and Palantir, PLTR. Brian is just watching Nvidia, Tesla, and PLTR. Oh, he says he might be looking at AMD. Oh, there you go. Add that to the list. I've got my usual three: AMD, Tesla, and Nvidia. Actually, that probably should be Apple, Tesla, and Nvidia. But anyways, and then I'll be watching Pfizer, Delta Airlines, just to see if they do anything interesting, and the scanners. Phil's going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, and Walmart. Paris is going to be watching Nvidia, Tesla, PLTR, Apple, and Delta Airlines. So that's what they've got in place for you today. I actually have to look up if we have any IPOs. We had a couple yesterday that I let everybody know about in the chat room. Unfortunately, they weren't that interesting. We really didn't get any good moves for today. It looks like we have one potential IPO, so I will let people know about that if and when it opens. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it will be opening today. So we'll see if it happens. All right.
All right.
That's what we got.
All right, excellent, guys. So we're just getting ready here for the market open. 10 minutes to that. Andrew and Brian will be in our chat. If you want to join Andrew and Brian, you can head over to bearwithtraders.com and look at some of the deals we have there to join the chat room. And there's also a link that we throw out here regularly from the team, Team Bear with Traders. There it is, actually. Oh, that's a different one. But they'll throw out another one that'll give you a discount to join the chat room here and be with our members. So, all right, I think we are set. Let me get my charts ready for the open. We'll get the 5 minute, we'll get the 1 minute, and we'll get rocking and rolling here. And just hoping that we can get, some better trading this morning. Yesterday was not fun. This is a tough trading time, Peter. It's not as easy.
It is, yeah, it's not that easy, but I mean, there is opportunity. We can't say that it's not there, but yeah, you definitely have to be, on your game. This is not a buy and hold type market, nor is it a sell and go away market either, right? Like, again, yesterday, we got some great sell-offs, but I find that they come at unexpected times, which is not a bad thing. Again, you just have to stay on your game. We'll see what Nvidia does, right? It's looking suddenly strong. It was looking very weak until about 8:40, and then some strength came back into the market. So, this sentiment I find is I don't know, it's very tenuous. Right, it's bopping all over the place. We'll get enthusiastic in one moment and say, "Oh yeah," and then it's time to buy because things are low, and then everybody gets nervous about more tariffs or another announcement out of the White House, and then maybe it's not going to be that bad, and they get enthusiastic again. So yeah, it's like I said, it creates volatility. I'm all for that, but you got to be very, very careful with it. So whatever you do, you know what I say all the time: trade smart, everybody. Right? Whatever you're doing, just don't start throwing things at the wall and see what happens. That's how you ruin your account. So.
Yep. All right, friends. I see Brian is on. I'm going to disconnect from chat, and we'll continue here on YouTube.
There you go, BT. Bob and weave, baby.
Yeah. Let me go. Let me mute Brian on my ear here, and all right, we're good to go. Nvidia, man, is showing a lot of strength in the pre-market. That's looking pretty nice. We are up 2.5, continuing to move higher here, so that's interesting. Tesla, same thing. We're up 1.6, so we are seeing a little bit of strength. I don't know if it's strength or just let's move up before we slam down again. I'm not sure.
Right.
We'll find out.
Again, the big money always talks. The open is definitely sets a different tone for the day, or tone we have to pay attention to.
I'm just getting my screens, switching them over for live trading here.
All right. I got to switch mine over to Nvidia. What you up to, buddy?
All right, guys. Remember, over on YouTube, today is laptop day, so excited for that. Or membership. Like, some people like the membership instead of the laptop. So
yeah,
whichever you choose. Andrew gives you a choice usually. If you're overseas, shipping might be a difficult. So membership would be ideal. Would be much ideal. So let's see here. We'll get our screens going.
Well, welcome, Rohit. Say that you're new.
Where's Rohi? Rohi.
Just said a new trader here, just observing, hoping to learn. So.
Good.
Kandamala. Rohit Kandamala. Assuming I'm saying your name.
I see it right on here. Yep. Welcome. Good to have you in the chat here.
I like the way Nvidia's been moving, so I'm going to definitely keep a close eye on Nvidia. Actually, I got to put some other stuff on here. I don't know what to expect out of Pfizer. Like you said, Pfizer's down a lot.
Yeah. It's a hit or miss, but I think some of these pharmaceutical companies will be in play today, one way or the other. So.
Yep.
All right, how are we doing with our likes here on YouTube? Andrew comes on a little bit later. We'll get ready to rock and roll for that giveaway. Always exciting to see who wins. 318. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's good. It's good. And so 318. So only 318 of the people want to win here. The other 400 are like, I have a laptop, I have a membership. I'm just here to hang out with us. And that's actually, you know what? I appreciate that. They're not here for the likes. They're not here for, for the laptop. They just say, hey, we want to hang out with Peters and Carlos and hear them in the background. I appreciate it. If you're running on the treadmill right now and you can't hit the like button because you don't want to trip in front of people, I appreciate you. I do. I do. If you're driving with your two hands and you can't find your phone, don't do it. That's unsafe. We appreciate you as well. So everybody, you're here. We're happy. Don't get yourself into trouble or embarrass yourself out there. That's okay. All right, Tesla, PFE, Baba, PLTR on my list as well. J&J. J&J looks so bad. I have it here because of the news, but this is not really a intraday stock at all. The volume is not there. But again, just the news and how much it affects these pharmaceutical companies is worth having, but not really in play. And Hood is not looking all that great either on a secondary for now. And then I have Delta, which, again, my secondary list is pretty bad. I don't see anything on here that looks exciting. Cam Stewart says, I hit the like button, enjoying listening to you guys. Not a current member, but would like to be. All right, man. Good luck to you on that membership giveaway. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Maybe it could be quicker than you think. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, 2.5 minutes till the open. We will see what we get here. I'm cautiously optimistic on the day.
I know.
Again, still reeling from yesterday.
We are.
Yeah,
on day
it's funny how
Peter. Yeah, go ahead.
Losing days affect me less than lost opportunity days, right? Like, and that's a good sign. I think that's usually a sign of an evolving trader, and when things are going better, that it's the suboptimal trading that bothers me more than when I actually suffer a loss, because a loss is inevitable, right? It's part of, if you're going to enter the markets, they're not always going to work. That's okay. But it's when I, take a trade and then fail to manage it properly, that really bothers me.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of our P Capital members in my team, they got to the point where their entry was great, good entry. So I'm meeting with them every week, going over their trades. So you start to learn how they trade and how you see the progress. And a lot of them, their entries are great. Identifying things are great. Stopping us great. The discipline's getting better. The trade management part is where a lot of them still need a lot of practice, right? So
sure,
it's usually probably one of the hardest things to get. But yeah,
I agree.
It's one of those things that even now, with our experience, we screw that up once in a while.
Oh, absolutely. Because there's an infinite number of ways to manage a trade, right? And what's right in one scenario is not always right in the next scenario. So, I always tell people, Carlos, focus on the entries. If you can get the entry right, because that gives you lots of opportunity for some good analysis and, to help figure out the future. The trade management, that's a never-ending journey. Right, even Andrew, with all his success, arguably has lots of work he could do on his trade management, and and it's just the reality of being a trader, right? That's something you can always improve on, because you never enter at the absolute low and exit at the absolute high, or vice versa. It's
and think about it. If that trade you took in would have went the other way, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, right? So many like Melanie saying here, so many variables, and you just can't have a trade management plan for everything that can possibly happen. You can't have a plan like that. 100%. It doesn't work.
All right, we're just about 10 seconds from the open now. So
let's do this. We got our 1 minute, 5 minute charts ready to go here, friends. And here is the bell coming up. Ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
All right, where's the volume? Nvidia off to the races here.
Or is it?
Right? I say, like, what's off to the races? The horse got pulled back and fell. Looked like Tesla just hopping around looking to see where the action is. So as you guys know, usually I'm waiting. No trade for me before 3 minutes of the market. So I'm just watching, seeing how things are forming, and I'll be looking for a 5-minute RB break up or break down. So let's see how things settled here the next couple of minutes. So stick to your plan. No rush. We have an entire whole day of trading. So just be mindful of that. Andrew and Brian are on deck. They're looking at Tesla. A lot of our usual suspects that we also are looking at here. Albanian had his best trade yesterday, shorting Tesla at 145 back to 122. Awesome, man. Great stuff.
I'm watching Pfizer to see what it's going to do with the news on potential tariffs on pharmaceuticals. Waiting for the volume to come in. It's a nicey stock. The volume has not really hit yet, I don't think. We had a good volume candle right at the open, but then the volume, notice how the second minute here, we went from 1.8 million shares to 200,000 shares. So
yeah, it's dead.
Don't like that profile. Yeah.
All right, here we are. Apple's strong. Nvidia's strong, at least trying to be. Someone mentioned Apple. Let's see here. Stefan. Yeah, Apple's moving higher. Andrew, long Tesla, partial added right now. So he's got a good, nice move there. Very aggressive with the entries and partials. It's kind of like we were talking about yesterday, right? You got to be aggressive in this type of market because you just don't know. Let's see here. All right, coming up on minute 3 here, and just searching to see what I like. It's funny, you see these moves up, and you just don't trust that they're going to keep going. Like on this Tesla, like you're trying to bull trap me here. You know, it's you just don't trust it. You know. And I could tell a lot of us are trading like that because I could see people getting in and taking partials like right away when they normally would wait a little bit. So this market does change the way you trade here. So be careful. There's Tesla coming back down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm watching Pfizer intently here just to see what it's doing. Don't like the way it's moving, so not giving me an entry signal.
Yeah.
All right. Delta popped up here at the open too. Baba's a good example of why, you got to wait for that volume. You can see it didn't get any volume till the 3rd minute.
Very quiet at first.
Yeah.
Comes in after it. Yeah, let's see. Market's trying to hold green. So market has the SPY at least has returned back into green after being down. So that's interesting there. We're trying to show some strength here.
The Qs are green. Nvidia. SPY's trying. Excuse me.
The overall the market is red, right? I mean, we big picture we're not doing well, but the SPY right now did hit green for a little bit, based on this previous day close. But for the most part, it's a lot of red still in the screen. A lot of stocks are gapping down for the most part. Tesla wants to go. Yeah, look at this on Nvidia. Nvidia's playing games again today. Let's see below the VWAP. We're getting to our 5-minute opening range. This is normally a stock I will look at here. If we can set up below the VWAP, I will be going short on it, but I just don't trust that Nvidia can trade well. So we'll be even a little bit more patient on this one. Tesla, PFE trying to get going.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything I like so far.
Yeah. Baba potential 5-minute opening range breakup. We're holding above the VWAP. We got a nice pattern here on the 1 minute. Volume is okay. It's not great.
All the pretty much all the airlines are green except for that's why, because it doesn't trade anymore. I can delete this one. All the airlines are green. Delta is green. So again, like I said, probably smart of them to call off their forecasts. This is one of the rare times when you can pretty much do it with impunity in the market.
Yeah, and nobody's gonna kill you for it. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Most times if you have any any bad news you want to get out the closet, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now's the time to throw it out there. Yeah.
Get it lost in the roar, the tariff roar.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm long Baba. I mean, this is the signal I will look to go long in when I'm doing a 5-minute RB. It's just the pressure we're getting just on the downside, man. It's hard for these stocks to get going. So I took a smaller size because I just don't expect it's going to run, and I'm going to give it to 101. So 101 is my stop, smaller size. We'll have to get a lot for it to be meaningful winning trade, but it's just I don't trust it, man. The weight of the overall market is just so strong here. But I do want to get into trades. It's my signal, so let's see if we can get something going. So that's Baba. We'll keep looking here. See if we find something else. See if it holds. I want to stay above 101. 101, I'll stop out here on this thing. The market is pulling back, so that's not helping. This is another good, here's the same thing. I would be going long here when I see this type of action on the 1 minute. If it stays above the VWAP, that's where I'll be going long. Yeah. Wow, PLTR below the VWAP here and dropping. Good 5-minute engulfing, guys. If you look at the engulfing here, this is that's usually a very strong pattern to go short there. So that's usually the case, but I'm not sure that's gonna take place because you are going up against the previous day close, but that's usually a good entry for a short there. PFE, Tesla is pulling back. You're kind of getting like an ABCD pattern of some of these. Like Tesla too. This is a good entry for Tesla long as well. You see the pullback there on the 5-minute. This is what I normally trade, guys, right? So here's the pullback on the 5-minute. On the way back up is usually where I'm going long, right in here. So I'll be long in here, and that's kind of like the 5-minute breakout that I like to see off the pullback. And I'm getting that play almost everywhere today, man. But I can't join on everything because I just want to limit my risk this morning. And here it is, right? Here's the potential pop 2 on the 1 minute for Tesla. Looks really good, really good. All right, Bob is trying to get working here. Let's see if we can get a breakout. I need a long way to go to make this this trade worth it because I didn't take that many shares. So we need 104, hopefully, on this one. Anything for you, Peter? Nothing you like so far?
I'm still watching Pfizer. I didn't end up taking a trade, and I was thinking about going short a few minutes ago, but I did not, and sure enough, it bounced right back.
Glad you didn't. Yeah.
It looks like a bust. I don't like the way it's moving. So, Tesla's back at high of day. So is Apple.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if I did not have this tariff market red bias, although I don't try not to trade like that, but it does affect us as a trader. Let's not be kidding ourselves, right? Sure. It affects you. Look what I did. I had an amazing trade on entry on Baba. I took half size, right? Because I just don't trust the continuation. I talked myself out of trading Tesla, right? That would have been a great entry here. You already have $2 move on this thing, so it does affect you. You try not to let it, but it does. So I am in Baba Long here. My stop is below 101. We'd love to get to 104 if we can. And this is my second trade this week. We're going into day 3. We didn't trade Monday. One trade yesterday, and this is only my second trade this week. So very light week for trading. And as we're saying, that SPY is pushing higher, making a new high here. So that's good. Keith says AMD.
Surprised you weren't looking at Nvidia for the similar type of VWAP balance trade.
I wasn't, because it was looking pretty messy here, right? And yeah, it's looking good now though. Another engulfing pattern to the upside on the 5-minute. That's another good one too. And the breakout's happening here. The SPY is going long. PLTR, friends. Andrew's long PLTR. I think Andrew started that move. His entry is so good, and he's not listening, so I don't have to hype him up, because people are like, oh, he's trying to make the boss. No, I'm not gonna hype up the boss. We're very honest and straightforward with him when he does good and he does bad. But look at this. Look at this entry here on the POTR. I mean, you can't make that stuff up. And
well, I mean, he did have a. Looks like he got stopped out the first time, so it was a second try.
You think so? Oh, yes. Okay, I did see that. Yeah. He did get stopped out first time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, so he didn't start that move. But
he's not afraid to re-enter, right, when he thinks the setup is better. So
nice. And that's something we learned from him, man. He's, stop out and just get back in. You don't need to hang around and force something. Guys, check out FMTO. FMTO. Oh. Oh, wow. Peter. Look at this. Look at this. Whoa. Is that real? So we were. How does that happen? Where's the halt? This went from $5 FMTO.
We had looked at that pre-market.
To right, there's no, okay, I get it now. There's no halt because this is happening pre-market. So pre-market, there's no volatility halts at all. Right. So buy accounts. Oh my goodness.
What the hell? Yeah, it went from $5 to 11 cents.
This is unheard of. I mean, and this is, again, guys, pre-market. There's no breaks on this thing, no breaks whatsoever. So there's no volatility halts. Goes down to 11 cents, and now it's just halted, and they should just completely stop trading on this company. What happened, man?
This thing is not gonna reopen.
It shouldn't reopen. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so bad. I gotta take a screenshot of this because I never seen anything like it. This is good for.
I mean, like I said, what they announced. I don't know that.
They didn't have good news.
I thought they had a private placement, but now I'm reading it. That was from back in February, so I probably gave the wrong news. It's my fault. I made this happen. No,
you created this drop.
I have no idea. I mean, look at the volume. 54 million shares traded on this thing that has an 8 million share float. So
it doesn't make
somebody
sense.
Somebody was just getting out pre-market. Like they were just selling into everybody that was willing to buy, it looks like, and they just took the market right down.
This is officially a pump and dump. Look at this pump and dump, man. This is why even yesterday they moved it up to 450 and now you're at 11 cents. Wow. Yeah. Massive. All right, let's get back into character here. I actually have a trade going I gotta look at.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Look at Baba.
All right.
Oh, Baba's pulling back on me. So I'm gonna get out of it here. See, there it is, the market. I'm glad I took a small size because I knew it. Like you just can't trust this move up. You really can't.
It's these types of moves in the market that make it difficult.
Yeah. So again, guys, small size here, so I'm not worried about this loss. If it would have been regular size, I would have been freaking out. But this is not. I knew it. Just can't trust this thing. Let's see if we can get a little higher. If not, we'll just get out. It's not a big deal on this one. Um, I knew it. I knew it. These pops, you can't trust it. It's just, are we going to get a continuation of another red day? And the reason I say that is because we haven't gotten any good news. Like, there's no good news out there. If anything, there's more bad news from China. So why would we be gapping up or moving up? It's tough. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So if you're just joining us, guys, I'm long Baba, but again, stop was around 101, very small size. I did look at my P&L now. It's not a big deal. It's the only reason I'm still holding here. If not, if it was a regular size, would have been out of this. Yeah, I'm still in it, Mr. Do. Yeah, it's a small trade. I took a small size. I'm not gonna be worried about it at all. Because I knew it. I knew this thing is probably not gonna trade well. So. Exactly. I don't know why we're green today. I have no idea. Let's see. We might move up here. Tesla pull back. What did Nvidia do? Came back as well. And now the 5 minutes starting to look a little bit ugly. Man, we're gonna have the same thing like yesterday, huh? Unless you're scalping, you're gonna have a tough time. I don't see anything good here. All right, green and dump. Come on, gravity, says Kevin. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Gravity's pulling everything down. So I'm gonna jump out of this. I think this is probably gonna go lower. I feel like the minute I get out, it's gonna shoot up to like 104. That's usually what happens. They're waiting for me to sell here. On Baba. EU just approved first. Oh, really? How much? How much? What's the percentage? So they're gonna retaliate on tariffs, but what is the percentage that they're doing? Oh, they haven't announced it yet. Took some profits on American Airlines. The ticker keeps on giving all year long. I love American Airlines. I'm actually want to add some more on here. I'm in long term on this thing, but I want to wait to see if we're gonna be going lower. No, 80%, 84% was China, Kevin, right? That was China, I believe. Are they doing the same thing? The EU, they're copying China on the 84%. We'll find that hard to believe. Or unless they want to send a message. All right, let's jump out of this. I'm just wasting time watching it. Well, look, my triangles are still purple, so hopefully you can see that better. Forgot we did that change yesterday. PFE, Tesla, good possible breakout 5-minute ORB, but again, do we trust the continuation is the issue. But here's on your 5-minute, here is your 5-minute range. So do we trust the break after the previous candle is the question. Friends, remember today is laptop day, so if anything good is happening, it will be that, or at least anything as far as you winning something. Laptop, 448 likes so far. We have a 1,020 people watching, so that's awesome. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and that's going to put you into the drawing that Andrew's going to do a little bit later when he comes on, so don't forget to do that. Laptop or membership, BBT membership, and I think he did a year last time, so years that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. A year membership is pretty nice. All right, SPY, what are we doing? Bob is heading back up. Probably could be a good one, but I don't want to get back into it now. I don't think it has the best PLTR. Man, I don't know. Want to join something here, but I don't see anything I like, to be honest. Today's your day, HR? Yes, today's your day. And if you win, trust me, there's no way for us to rig this thing. It's done by YouTube, so we don't want anybody to think, it was rigged. No, it wasn't. We have no say in who wins at all.
We do not.
Yeah.
Andrew runs his magic tool, and
yeah.
We'll decide.
GameStop. What's going on with GameStop? Yes, moving higher. Light volume though, for the most part. Want Brian back? You can't have him, man. This is our show. You don't want him back. You can't have him here. Sorry. Well, you see, when you have your own show and you run your own YouTube channel, you can do whatever you want. But I run this one and we're alongside Peter, so you're stuck with us, man. I'm sorry. But not just kidding. But part of it's kidding, but some of it's not. No, if you want Brian, man, you can have him. He is available in our chat. He's in there right now with Andrew. Let me show you, give you a little look on what that looks like right over here. Inside peek of what's going on there. There's Andrew, there's Brian. They're trading Tesla, PLTR. Again, they're very active traders in the moment, and they're great traders. And I'll be honest, here's the real truth, right? We miss Brian and Andrew because we used to watch them just like you do, right? We take on trades and listen to what they're doing, so we do miss that. But, we had to make a change, and this change has its good and its bad, right? If you love Andrew and Brian, you're not going to get them here, but you can definitely join the chat room, and they're there for you with their neon sign and red couches. You put those two together, Peter, you could have something very interesting. You combine those two, right? Yeah, I like that. Maybe. I like that.
Should I make some new signs or something to go up here?
Yes. All right, things are climbing higher. I think Nvidia is gonna go. All right, let's go. I like Nvidia here for a breakout, but
yeah, this Nvidia, it's hitting its head right at $100.
Yeah. My decision now is, do I take full size or do I continue trading small? That's the thing now. All right, let's go regular on this. Tight stop, guys. 99. I don't want to see it below that, or even if the price action just starts coming back down, I'll get out. But I'm long Nvidia. Let's see if we can get the breakout above 100. And if I start seeing that we're getting some weakness and just not moving higher, then I'll just stop out. I won't even wait for my my stop at 99. If we don't get going quickly here, we hesitate. FOMO is a different type of trading. We're more calm. We don't take as many trades, but this is how we trade, right? So we can't change that just because we're live with you guys. And this is why we don't trade live, because we don't trade a lot. For the most part, our styles are very, very different opposed to very active traders, right? So there's no good or bad. There's no better or not. It's just what you're good at, what you prefer, right? Some people prefer this style, other people prefer Andrew's style. It just depends. So it's like Andrew loves to say, there's no best car. It's just the car that's right for you. He says that in a lot of his presentations, and it's so true.
Yeah.
Is there a way to categorize your watch list into a daily bias, like long list and short list? Krishna, we could, but I don't look at my watch list like that, right? So that'll be a little tough because I look at my watch list as opportunities, long and short. So I really have no bias on it into the market opens. But there are some people that have a thesis when they get into trading. on what they feel, that stock is going to do based on how the day looks in bigger time frames. But I don't look at my list like that, so it'll be difficult for me to do that. And actually, might hurt me to do something like that, because then I'll start looking for something that might not be there, and you got to be very careful with that. Okay, when you come in with a bias, what it does is your mind just starts to look for things that confirm what you're looking for, and you might miss things that that you're not looking for, right? So you got to be careful too, or be experienced enough to know the difference. Because I know people that have their thesis when they come in, and they're experienced enough to know that, hey, that is not, although this is what I'm looking for, that is not there. It's not present in this trade. So. All right, friends. What are some good books for beginners to traders to read? Start with Andrew, of course. Andrew's book, How to Day Trade for a Living. We'll get you the link in chat. It's a great, great book. Brian has another great book for swing trading as well, if you like that. And then, the fundamentals, take the classes, I think are great. And then work on psychology stuff. Psychology stuff is usually where a lot of traders have an issue with, discipline. Atomic Habits is a great book as well. It has nothing to do with trading, but some of the lessons there can be applied. So there's a bunch of stuff you can look at. Generally coming down to psychology. The Best Loser Wins. I haven't read that one, but I heard that I heard that before. Is that a book?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I've got it right here somewhere.
Yeah, someone mentioned that recently, and I haven't read that one actually.
Here it is.
The Best Loser Wins.
I'll admit, a lot of people love this book. Not one of my favorites.
Huh.
But people do love this book. The entire book is summarized in like one of the appendices. I can't remember, it was appendix 1 or 2 or something. But anyways, it's sort of typical of it's like a business book written for traders. So maybe worth reading if you want, but I could pretty much summarize it here. Losing is part of the game. Learn to accept your losses, and don't obsess over them. That's
yeah. There's a great book too by this gentleman, Mark Douglas. Is it Mark Douglas?
Yep.
Yeah. So he has a book, and it's a great book, but I could tell you it could have been half. Like, it's very wordy. We're repeating the same thing over and over a little bit. It could have been like half of the book, and it still would have been a great seller, but I think they expanded it. Yeah, there it is. Trading in the Zone.
We got them all. I got them all here.
Yeah. Great book, but it really could have been, shortened it a lot. So,
I mean, we got to give him some credit. He's like the granddaddy of stock trading psychology, right? So this is like one of the first trading psychology sort of oriented books ever written. But yes, I mean, it's like most of them, right? There's usually like one central thought that they tell a lot of stories around, and they give examples, but there's usually just one key point or one thought in it. But it's worth reading. If you don't have time to read it or you want to shorten it, look on YouTube. There's a series of 5 videos. I forget what they're called now. But
I think just put Mark Douglas. Yeah, just put Mark Douglas.
Yeah, where he's talking to an audience, and it's old. Like, these videos were recorded in the 90s, I think, or something. Like, it's not good quality, but they're about an hour each. You can put them on in the background. It's actually, they're worth listening to, in my opinion. And it's a little shorter than reading the book. So but he basically makes the same points, and the market is a game of uncertainty, and you need to manage and understand that uncertainty and not be afraid of it. So notice, you can start to see there's a lot of similar themes that go on through the these books and learnings.
Because I feel once you learn the fundamentals, the rest is psychology, discipline. The fundamentals are not going to change overnight. Practice, and then the rest is am I going to do what I practice? Am I going to follow my rules, stick to the plan, control my emotions? You're going to spend more time there than anything else, you know.
There's if you like that area of thought and psychology, there are some other really good books out there. There's two poker books that I really like, both written by female poker players. The Biggest Bluff, if you look up that one, and I forget what the other one's called now. There's another one, Thinking in Bets or something like that. Anyways, but it's all about managing uncertainty. Thinking in Bets, yeah. Both really, I thought, sort of well written, entertaining books. I like poker too, so I find poker very applicable to trading. So, but worth considering if you're thinking, psychology books in that genre, because the whole point is you have to learn to embrace and accept uncertainty if you want to be able to play poker or trade in the stock market. Right? You manage the variables you can. You do your best, your best at understanding the risks that you're undertaking, and then you take them where appropriate. That's
agreed. So much good stuff out there, guys. Again, just start somewhere, learn the fundamentals, and just work on that discipline. But there's a lot of really great books.
All right, we got slow climb here on the markets today.
Yeah, it's good. Is Andrew in? I think Andrew is in POTR, or did he get stopped out? Sure, I can't tell. I think he's in the POTR, so it's pushing higher. I'm in Nvidia. Let's see how it goes here. If we can get to that. I have a level of 101.16. So far, let's see how many trades I take this week. So far, 3 trades. This was my 3rd trade. Let's see how this week goes. How do we trade under these market conditions? Will be interesting.
This might be interesting. In the chat room, we have someone who says, asking, "Hey, I'm a new trader. However, my goal is to make $100,000 a year. Is that a realistic goal?"
And where's that question? Where's that question?
It was asked by M.W. Schroeder at 10:01 in the chat room. And I answered him in the chat room, and I'll give you guys the same answer here. Because I do, yes. So the short answer, yes, it's realistic. However, it's going to take a lot of time, work, and mostly discipline to make it a reality, right? And we have a number of people in moderators and others in the chat room that prove, yes, it is possible, right? It can be done, but it's not easy. It's like any discipline, any profession that you get into. This one just happens to have the upside opportunity that is unlimited. However, most people never achieve that, right? Most people, in fact, lose money. You have to know that going in, and you have to be prepared then to put in more effort, greater discipline, right, and more time than most people, or you're not going to be able to achieve the results that you want. This is not 100%. Easy. No. Trading is not easy, but is it possible? Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I'm always concerned when people start off with questions like that. How much can I make? Because that's what I did too before doing all the stuff involved. How much can I make a year? How much can I make a month? How much can I make a day? And then you realize that you start putting focus on dollars, and you start losing, the focus on the actual process, right? You're thinking about the end game and not the actual process. And in trading, you want to struggle and take longer than what you need to take to get somewhere. Is think about where you want to be now, and this just doesn't work. It's too much pressure, way too much pressure.
Well, and it's the wrong focus, right? You guys probably know by now. I love sports analogies, but because they seem to be continuously applicable to trading. So again, if you think like an athlete, if an athlete, think of a young kid saying, "Hey, how much can I make?" and pick a sport. I don't care what. Pick any professional sport. Maybe, let me say, right? How much can I make? Well, you could make $100 million a year potentially playing your sport if you're a soccer player or a baseball player, or right there are contracts worth that much.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely. You could. But if at 10 years old you're like, all right, so I'm going to focus on how am I going to play that, or it doesn't matter what age, yeah, that's what I want to do. Well, you're probably never going to get anywhere close. You're probably never going to make a dime playing the sport because you can't play the sport to make the money. Now, the problem with trading is because the direct thing you're doing is producing money, it tends to confuse people about that objective. But to me, the sport analogy works because, you know, what you produce in a sport usually is the goals or the plays or the outcome, but you can't focus on the money or you're never going to get there. You need to put the time in the gym, put the time in the field, put the time in the practice, you study the tapes, you know, you do all that work, and then you have to figure out how to apply that in a way that you know makes you better than everyone else. Then
Yeah.
you have a shot at getting the big contracts. Trading is a lot the same process, right? You got to put the time in understanding yourself, your strategies, the markets, you know, practicing it, and then figuring out how to apply it. Then you'll have an opportunity to make the money. And then it's only at that point that we could truly answer the question: how much could you make? Well, it depends on, you know, again, how you're applying all that, how much you're willing to risk, etc. And it's a much more building process in terms of the earnings than the sports analogy. That's where it breaks down because sports can sometimes be all or nothing, right? You often go
Hmm.
from an
Yeah.
amateur to a big contract, right? There's like there's not often a lot of in between states. Whereas trading, you could be anywhere from making a buck to actually losing money to making yourself unlimited money. So.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yes. Yes. It's so true.
Yeah, and Melanie and to others that are commenting to it again, I like the sports analogy because you know the other side of it is, you know, if you think about what we just talked about, so much of the what you always see is the end result, right? You see the professional athlete, you see the big goals and the highlights, you see all that stuff. What you don't see is all that other time spent, the work in the gym. And it's the same thing for trading, right? You see videos of oh, look, here's what I did. I just entered here and I exited here and I made myself money and now I'm on my yacht. Like that's the part that's sexy on a video. What's not sexy
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
videoing somebody journaling their trades and studying the market intently and figuring out their strategy and dealing with their own personal psychology and demons. And like it's just the reality of humans. We don't want to see that crap. That's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what led to the big moment that we all want to achieve. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox.
100%. No, no, it's
You,
great stuff.
you can
Great
tell
stuff.
we're passionate about this stuff, and this is why we love doing the boot camp and helping other traders. Because I'll be honest, a big part of that boot camp that we put on is helping people realize what that statement I just made, but actually appreciate it for themselves, right? Because you may be hearing me now and you say, I hear that, but I'm better, I'm smarter, I'm different. I hate to tell you, you're not different. You may be smarter,
Yeah.
and I hope
Yeah.
that you are better at the end. But if we can help you sort of realize, what you need to do to achieve for yourself, and then set you on the path to start to do that, you're not going to accomplish the whole thing in 3 months. That's just unrealistic. But if we can set you upon that path, then you've got a great deal out of boot camp, and that's our objective. The entire program is designed to say, first, let's help you realize what it's actually going to take, and then give you some tools to start to put in place a plan for yourself to embark upon that path.
100%.
I sound like your mother. You're not that smart. Well, that's not a supportive mother.
Realistic,
I didn't mean to
realistic
sound like
one.
that.
Realistic one, but maybe not as. We're kidding. But yeah, friends. Let's see. Nvidia's here trying to do some stuff. Back below my break even or my entry because I haven't parsed it yet.
Callum, there you go. That's a good situation to be in if you just go for the social. You get paid to socialize. It's your social outlet. I'm not sure if you're totally serious, but hey, that does work. Um, You know,
What was it?
I another analogy I sometimes use, if you prefer, if you don't want the sports one, I like the doctor analogy, right? If you want to be the best neurosurgeon in the world, you're going to get paid big bucks. But you can't go into it looking to get paid big bucks, or you'll probably end up losing money because you'll do something wrong, you'll get sued, and you'll lose everything, right? So, you know, you have to focus on the surgeries and achieving the outcomes and learning and learning and learning and practicing. And, you know, and then when that big opportunity comes with the, you know, world renowned surgery on somebody famous, or the conjoined twins that you separate that everybody said was impossible, or, you know, anyways, whatever the big neurosurgery, you know,
Yeah, you just gotta
events
deliver.
are. But, you
Yeah.
know, like it's very different, right? That you can't focus on the money in that process either. And again, um, I find it's the same in trading. Wahid, I'm trying to understand your question here. You say, will you agree to take 20 trades every day no matter what? I'm not sure. I guess it would depend on the outcome. I
Yeah.
mean, what am I trying to accomplish? So, you know,
E-
there's a time and a place, I guess, to take a number of trades if you're trying to learn something specific.
mhm.
If I'm just trying to, I guess I'm not sure what I would be trying to prove. I mean, so right now, what I know, because I don't find 20 trades that meet my strategies and that would be potentially beneficial. Now, there
Yeah,
may be a
that
point in
that
time where I
that
force
is where I was
myself.
gonna go with too. Like, okay, you're gonna take 20 trades based on what? Because the
Right.
number one thing should be is, are they in your strategy? If they're in your strategy, in your trade book, okay, yeah, fine, take 20 trades if that's part of your, your plan. You got the risk management that allows you to take 20 trades. What if all these 20 trades per day are all losers? Is your risk management account going to be okay? Right? Not saying that's going to happen, but forcing yourself to take 20 trades no matter what, you got to start with the question is if they meet your criteria. And like you said, Peter, you answered it. You might not get 20 opportunities of your strategy on that day. So that could be a recipe to force stuff that just looks like, this looks okay, but I'm going to take it because I have to complete 20 trades. I don't think
Right.
that's going to work out well.
Yeah. Again, think about what you're trying to accomplish, right? If you're say, look, I need to get over my fear of trading, or I need to, you know, trade in the market without being fearful, then by all means, then maybe there's a period of time, you know, do it in simulator or something. But, you know, sure, I'm going to take 20 trades so that when the time comes, I know the mechanics. You know, that could be the other one, right? Actually, I don't care about the outcome of the trades. I need to learn the mechanics of how my platform works. I need to know it, you know, sort of a second nature. You know, like a skater knows how to skate, or a soccer player
Yeah.
knows how to dribble a ball, or a basketball. You know, like, so. There, that's a good reason to take 20 trades or more a day. That's what you're trying to learn, right? I'm not worried about process. I'm not worried about trade outcomes. I'm worried about learning the mechanics of the tool. Sure, then by all means, great objective, right? But understand what you're trying to accomplish. Fox trader, is it easier to swing trade? I would say no. But it's a very different skill, right? You're trading with a different mentality and a different intent, right? So, right, if you're a scalper, 20 trades is nothing, absolutely, because, you know. But scalpers, again, they certainly, you can't be afraid to trade if you're a true scalper. The term scalper, by the way, is one that is used so many different ways by so many different people. It's hard to know what it means. But if you truly mean somebody that is taking trades for pennies at a time, right? That's what a true scalper is in my definition. Somebody that trades and literally they're only looking to make, you know, 10 cents maximum. One, two, three, 5, 10 cents is what they're trying to make on each trade.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you bet those people, you know, trade usually very large size for very small moves. But
It's funny because I don't consider myself a scalper, but if you talk to someone that trades a bigger time frame, to them I'm a scalper. So it's like all relative as well, right? Like people depending on what they're used to trading and what they actually trade. So um,
so I've got here. Let me do a couple things for you guys. So good question, asking what is my favorite strategy and how did I come to trade it? If I can paraphrase. I'm going to show you guys something. Let's share some learning. Why is my computer so slow?
Tom,
Come
like,
on.
yeah, I don't know if scalpers, like real true penny, have an edge over frequency trading, high frequency trading. They might. I mean, I don't know any real good ones, so it's hard to tell. I don't know anybody in our community that does actually scalping like that,
Yeah,
to confirm
scalpers.
how well they do. But I'm sure there's got to be some people out there that, even with the computers, can find their edge somehow.
Right.
You know, and I think it comes down to really also having experience, man. You got to be so fast, and yeah, good question. I don't know the answer to that.
All right, here.
What was your main issue to work on when you started, guys? Discipline, 100% discipline. Um,
Yeah.
it's just, and if discipline involves so many things, like following your rules, good risk management, sticking to the plan, only taking trades that are in your trade book. It all comes down to discipline. A lot of people just can't do it because of that. And that was my biggest struggle. Like, I already knew how to put it on a trade. I knew the system already. I knew the strategies. I knew what I had to do. It's all about just doing that. That was very difficult. And sometimes part of your personality too, the optimism. Like, I'm a very optimistic person. So, don't average down. Oh, it's got to come back up now. Let's add some more. Let's give it a little more room. You can't do that stuff when you're trading. And every single trade, the market's gonna it's gonna break you if you do that.
Hmm. I will break you.
Well, yeah, gonna do the Batman Bane on you. That's what it's gonna do. Market would break your back, my friend. You are not stronger than the overall market. Um, all right, friends. Remember, today's laptop day. How do you submit to be able to join the laptop giveaway? Very simple. You hit that subscribe button, you hit that thumbs up button, comment laptop on the chat, and you are in, right? And we say laptop, but when we say laptop, because it sounds better, laptop, right? You can get a membership, you can get all that kind of good stuff. But do that, and you're in the drawing. Andrew's going to be on in a couple of minutes here. Go over his trades. He's smiling, so that's good. Uh, He's smiling, so that means he's having a good day. I'm smiling no matter what. I'm red today, so it doesn't matter to me. But smiling is good. I like when he does this, though. When he does the arms, that means it was really big. I haven't seen him do that today. I haven't seen the arms come up. Um, all right,
So
excellent.
yeah, let me share
Did
something with
you?
you guys. I want to
Yeah,
answer a question.
I was going to ask
Oh,
you. Did
sorry.
you find what you were looking for?
Yeah. I
Okay.
was struggling to find one of my presentations here, but let's get this. So you guys are asking what my favorite strategy is and how I came to it. So it's a longer question that I can get into in detail, but let me give you the quick summary. Here's my trade strategies. And I developed these over the course of about 5 or 6 years, and none of them happened at the same time. There's a very complex interaction between these strategies where if one fails, another might set up. The ones in gray here, the high of day and low of day breaks, I don't actually trade. I just use them as indicators for other strategies. My favorite one is what I would call my mountain pass strategy. And the mountain pass strategy is one that I always talk about, that I say only sets up about now is when it starts to set up. Usually I trade it from 10:30 to about 3. And it's a very detailed strategy. You can say I've got a number of indicators. I've got all sorts of things that I'm looking for in the trade. I won't go in, we've got whole webinars on it where I explain it exactly what I'm looking for. It's a pattern based strategy and it's a reversal strategy. But what's important is that, I've learned how to trade over a period of time where I know exactly when and where my strategies set up and what they're supposed to look like. And this is something I presented in Vancouver in more depth, where here's what my trading day looks like, right? I know what strategies I'm looking for. These graphics just represent my different strategies. And I know not only when they happen during the day, I know how long they're going to take to set up and how often they occur each week. And this is something I've developed by journaling and being detailed about my trading approach, that I know, like if I'm looking to trade the open, I know I only get 2 to 3 chances a week. Today, I was watching Pfizer. If you remember, I was talking about that. Never ended up setting up for me. So I watched it, didn't set up. I didn't have a trade on it. yesterday I did get a setup on Nvidia, and I took it, and it didn't really work, so that's okay. That was my setup. But then my Mountain Pass strategy basically did set up on Nvidia, and I got that later. Remember, as we were just finishing this time yesterday, I was entering that trade on Nvidia. So, for me, this is what I call my map, my trading map. You need to develop that for yourself over time. And some people's maps are very simple, right? One of the things, you might just trade ORBs, and your trading map is very simple. That's all you've got. You trade between 9:30 and 10, and you're done for the day. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's something that you need to develop through your own experience and understanding what you see, what resonates with you, what you trade best. I'd love to be an open trader. I'm just no good at it. And I haven't been able yet to develop that skill. So, so I focus on what I'm good at, which is really my detailed trade build-ups and setups that I trade over the course of the day. And, when I see them, I know them instantly because I've been trading them for 5 or 6 years, but it took me 2 to 3 years of that time to really develop the strategy and fully flesh it out. You may be able to do it much faster than me, right? And part of, again, what we teach and try and help people with is how to accelerate that process. But for me, yeah, it's been a very long process. And, I love trading. I love the challenge of it. I love the opportunity, but it's been difficult, a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. So
Yeah,
hopefully
that's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, awesome, man. Awesome.
So I'm still looking for trades. Have not taken a trade yet today. Like I mentioned, I was watching Pfizer at the open, did not set up. Been watching Nvidia. It and AMD actually both heading to high of days. No. Anyway, where do I put the plural?
Highs of days. Sounds
Highs
like
of
some
day?
kind of movie or something.
Whatever. The high of the day for each of them. We'll have to see what happens. I've got Intel on my charts here too. I've noticed it's gone up. Tesla spiked. Anyways, unfortunately, we're not getting a very strong move to the high of day. My favorite move is when we get a strong move to the high of day, usually between 9:45 and about 10:30, and then you get the reversal. And I'm not seeing that so far today. Yesterday we did, right, which is why I love. Yesterday I had that great trade on Nvidia. I said that turned from a big positive trade that I shared with you guys live, the entry, and then I got angry at myself because I got out too early. But it's a whole different problem on trade management. But we got a fairly strong move to a high of day, and then a reversal, right, that lasted for the whole rest of the day. So far today, I'm not seeing that same type of setup, but it's not too late, right? We could very well get that move maybe just a little later today, or not at all.
Yeah, I am still in Nvidia, back and forth. Let me get the 1 minute. 1 minute's nicer or better. Here it is. So still in Nvidia. Let's see what happens. I'm just trying to be as paid. It came right to my stop. Like I said, 99. I don't want to see it go below that. That's where the VWAP is. Came right to it. So if I had a limit order, I probably would have been stopped out of this thing. But yeah, let's see where it goes. I don't know. If it goes back to 101, I won't hesitate to just take some off or even take it all off. It's just hesitant. Or I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
So a couple questions here. Def, around what time is good to start looking for reversals? Again, impossible question to answer. What I will say in my case, because I'm looking for big setup reversals, I don't start looking for them until about 10:30, 10:15 at the earliest. 10:30 to 1 is when I like the reversals, but I'm looking for bigger reversals. If you're just looking for momentum-based reversals, you can start looking for those 10 minutes after the open, right? I mean, just look at that choppy price action. There's reversals in there, but it's not something against which I have a strategy. So again, the answer's got to be dependent on exactly what strategy you're trading and the signals you're using to manage that strategy. Probably not the straightforward answer you wanted, right? TK, you're asking what was my stop in yesterday's Mountain Pass. My stop when I take those, and then yesterday, it's always above the high of day. I usually put it at what a next logical technical point would be above the high of day. If I don't have one, then it's on Nvidia's case, it's usually about 4 to 7 cents above that high. So I give it enough room that in case it just spikes by a penny or two, I don't get stopped out, but still within range that it doesn't ruin my risk to reward. If there's a good technical level, it'll be above whatever that technical level is.
Yes, yes.
So, all right. Yes, we've
Have
got.
you ever used VWAP without the pre-market data? I don't think I have. I should try it, Mr. Solution. I always use the pre-market data.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I
It's
never done it without it. Is there a big difference, Peter? There could be.
No, not usually.
Okay.
Because the pre-market volume, I mean, it's volume weighted average price. Keep that in mind, right? By definition, that's what.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm telling you. Expression from Australia, telling grandmother how to suck eggs. Anyways, but anyways, what happens is just look at the VWAP at almost every day because the volume is so low before the market open. It largely gets ignored. Like soon as the open volume comes in, it completely overpowers the pre-market, and then the data largely becomes irrelevant. Yes, it'll change the location of the line a little bit, but being that I don't trust the VWAP until at least 30 minutes into the day, anyways. It just for me, it doesn't matter because by then it's all leveled out and the pre-market data has become irrelevant. Again, I challenge you to call up any chart. You can look at even the Nvidia that you've got on the screen. Look at how the VWAP, which is the blue line in Carlos's chart here, is very flat pre-market, and then it just sort of takes off, right? And suddenly now it's tracing the price action. So
Yeah.
that's my view, anyways. See, the YD is talking about this 2-day AVWAP. There's all sorts of, in any study, people will always find a way to put new math to it and make it do something different, which is fine. That's cool. Go ahead and use it. But to me, it's not a VWAP. A VWAP is an intraday measure that really has no bearing, after the market's closed, or you can't use a multi-day VWAP, in my opinion. But people do use it. That's okay, right? You can make the math do it, but that's not its original intent, nor personally what I use it for. Right or wrong?
Yeah, I'm always afraid to, not afraid, but concerned in adding new things to my stuff because it's working, right? And I know that's not the attitude you should take. You try different things, and maybe I should try and sim. But once I'm done with the trading, it's hard to me in the afternoon to say, oh, let me go to sim and try things. That's tough, right?
Right.
I'd rather go do other stuff with my time, but that's not easy. That's not easy. And Andrew was talking about this, about learning new stuff, trying new things, and I think you need to do some of that.
Have you gone back and looked at Baba, Carlos?
No, and I'm not gonna look at it.
Okay. No.
Well, the way you're asking me,
I'll be happy that you're out. It's
okay,
just
it just the way you asked for a second was like I'm gonna be so mad. But
no. It didn't.
All right,
it
so
didn't
let's go
take
look
off
at it.
on you. I'm just
Okay.
like it really just.
Yes.
It's still selling
Look
off.
at
It's
that.
at
This
low
is
day
why
right now.
you gotta get us. Yeah, I didn't. This was an awesome signal, and I just didn't trust it. And again, guys, here we went. You guys remember we went very small size because I don't trust this bullish market at all. I don't trust it. I don't trust the bearish move. Sorry. I don't trust bullish moves. I'll get it right. Bullish move in this market. There it is. It's so brutal. So, man, look at this.
I see you still have the pink.
It caught me off guard when I took this partial. I'm like, oh, what the heck is that? And I remember we did that yesterday and we saved it.
We did it yesterday, yeah. That's funny.
Man, my daughters will be proud of me if I'm using that color.
Okay, there you
They'll
go.
be like, oh, Daddy, our favorite color on the charts. Like, yes, sweetie.
See?
Daddy has
There you
pink
go.
on the triangles. But yeah. So I'm so glad I took half size. But then again, when you take small size, what happens is this is not worth it, right? Like usually I'll take a partial here maybe, but it's just you got to go so far out. It's weird, but I'd rather that than lose a lot of money, so that's okay. Nvidia is right at my break even, back and forth. I like the fact that we're still somehow, some way on a slight uptrend on the 1 minute. So I hope that continues. But again, we'll be quick to jump out if we need to. Now here I do have a full size here, so I am watching this one very closely. This would not be a Baba. Well, let's wait, see what happens. No. We're all
I
over this
think
one.
I'm getting the impression in the chat room Andrew was complaining about money because it looks like all our members are making fun of him. I see a comment here. Andrew, if you only make $9,000 a day, it's like 2.2 million a year, and they are
Yeah,
correct. That's about right.
yeah.
Someone says you're homeless with $10 million in the bank. So clearly he was making some comment about money and getting no sympathy.
Yeah,
And
no,
rightfully so.
no break for him.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. Well, Carlos, just last week we were sitting in his apartment penthouse with the Lamborghini in the parking garage down below. I mean, come on, dude. Like, we're not giving you any sympathy for crying poor.
No, no way, no way. You know what it is too? I noticed from rich people, it's not so much the amount that they have to give out, is that they don't feel that it's worth that. Like they don't feel like that's not worth that, right? So they might have, those that have the money, is like feel like that's not worth that, right? And you're right. As I got older, you start thinking like that. Like, give you an example. I went to the movie theaters with my daughter the other day. We were watching what we saw.
Right.
I don't mind. I know I'm gonna spend money. I have the money, no problem. But when I came out of there, it was $70 tickets, food, and everything. And then I guess we had bought something else. It was another $25. It was like $99
Right.
for two people for a
Yeah.
movie on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That's not worth it.
Yeah.
That is not worth that. I don't care what you say. That is not worth that. So, it gets you thinking like, man, do I really want to go and spend $99 on a movie again? What if I take my whole family, right? This was for older kids. I took my older daughter. What if I take five of us? How much is that going to be?
Yeah.
It's not worth that. So,
Well, it's funny
it
you say
doesn't make
that
sense.
because I talk to my wife about that all the time. I mean, my kids are older, but to me, you go to a movie now for the experience. It's the only reason, right?
Yeah,
And if you want to show the kids the experience and that, then you do that for fun. But to your point, like think, if you were going to consciously spend $100 on you and your daughter, which is more fun, going to the movie theater the way you did, or you could have bought the movie or rented it on a streaming service, paid $30 even for that, got yourself some Uber Eats and had an awesome dinner with her and set up a little tent and the TV and the thing. And, I don't know, you can make is that, might be a better use of the same amount of money. But
it is. But you're right, Peter. You do it more for going out and doing something different, right? Because we do the movie nights almost every Saturday night when we can. But it's doing something different. But it's like, man, you want to get more people in here. Them charge $99 for a movie, some popcorn and some chips, whatever, some candy. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. No, I did not take a partial, Brett. I'm still in this. It looks like we're pushing higher. I won't be as slow to react on the 101.16 level. Because look at this level, guys. We go right to it. How cool is that? Right here. We went right to this 101.16. And what is this? This is... If we go back here, is that the pre-market high maybe? It is the pre-market high. So right to the pre-market high. So yeah, I should have taken a partial. That was being kind of greedy. I'm probably thinking about my loss that I want to cover on Baba. Let's see what it does.
Oh yeah, that was way at 4 a.m. this morning. Interesting. Well, hopefully you get that opportunity again. We're sitting right at our 4 level right now. Let's see if we can break through again.
Minecraft. Yeah, I'm taking the whole family to Minecraft. My son, all of them, they're just going crazy with this Minecraft movie. So we got to get out there to that one.
See, there you go. Make that an experience.
Yeah, I'll have my wife pay for it this time. Like, listen, this week has gone really bad in trading. You got to cover this one. Make her pay for it.
Here we go, Carlos. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. We might be able to get popcorn, large bucket of popcorn here. Let's see. Keep going
You know,
higher.
random movie. I can't remember what the movie was. I went to this movie once with a bunch of friends, and we'd all like ordered food, and I got sushi, and it was this excellent sushi platter. I was really really hungry, and I was
Yeah.
so looking forward to it. And it was one of those where I can't remember. I put it on my lap, and I was doing a thing and a thing, and somebody came to go, and they had to get past me in the row, and I went to stood up and stand up, and I didn't grab it fast enough, and the
Oh.
tray flipped over and landed topside down on the floor of the like right at my feet. And once it
No,
touches the floor of
that's
a
not
movie
possible.
theater, like
No,
it's
that's not
dead,
possible,
right?
Peter.
Like you,
Andrew
Peter,
says
there's
that's
no
not
five
possible.
second rule in movie
it's
theaters.
impossible what you're saying. It's impossible. There's no way that I believe in that. How are you guys doing? Carlos, put it
Hey,
in the
Andrew.
What was
chat.
that?
Put it in the chat room. Put it back in the chat room. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did. It's on. It's on.
Uh, no, I'm just kidding. I actually didn't
Oh,
listen to what you're saying. I'm long TQQ right now. I want to see if we can break the
oh
41
man.
here. So for the folks on YouTube and everybody, so
TQQ.
TQQ was super nice in the open. Now it looks like this rallied. This is my third trade on it, and I think I'm probably gonna get stopped out on it very soon.
All right, guys, we're gonna hop off. I'll be in chat here. We're having a good time here on our YouTube chat. Laptop day, guys. Click
All right.
laptop membership, all that good stuff. Andrew's gonna hook you up a little bit later after tariffs, so it might be half a laptop, like I mentioned earlier. So we'll see. Take care, guys.
There's 100% tariff on the laptops.
100%. You're gonna get like a battery.
All right, guys. So I got out of my TQQ
Trade
position.
smart.
The market doesn't seem that it wants to break out with momentum. Um, so yeah, back business as usual.
All right. So we're yeah, how's everyone doing today? Another bit of a choppy price action day, but a couple of good movers. AMD has really been stellar. Mhm.
Yeah, AMD had a very nice run up 6%.
Yeah.
5.71.
Tesla still has a big order sitting here at 235. We're gonna get there. We had that pop on the Qs, and now we're pulling back again, pop to the high of the day. Hmm. All right. Tesla short. Yeah, it might be a short. Still think it's doesn't have a lot of orders to the downside, but both Nvidia and AMD pulling back from this pivot level R4. But we'll see what happens here. Still feels like a little bit of an uptrend on the markets. So 11 o'clock, we still have, or I should say, yeah, 11 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to get the FOMC minutes. Should be, should watch out at that particular time. Probably going to see some volatility.
So market, stock market. What a place.
Hmm.
Any question? Let's get some questions, guys. Let's get some questions about trading.
Hmm.
I really don't have any trading. I'm, you know, at $13,900 profit. So Craig is asking, how long did it take for you to become profitable? I think at the beginning of my trading career, it was about maybe 7, 8 months after making a lot of these big mistakes. Obviously, I followed the penny stock traders. I made money, I lost money, and then I went to different chat rooms. And eventually, I realized that found the style that is working for me is a 5 minute open range breakout. And that's the type of thing that I can do consistently, make money on that. And then switch to interactive brokers. I got the DAS going on, and eventually it really became like after about 8, 9 months, and slowly 200, $50, $200, and I had the job until 2019. But one thing that is very important is, Greg, and I think everybody's witness if you're old enough to follow me my journey, is that you are a trader until you are not, until you blow up. I was an amazing trader until in 2022. I, lost everything that I had in that $2 million loss, and I was an amazing trader until a few days ago when again I lost another $2 million. This one was worse than the other one because sorry, it wasn't worse because my net worth was about 12 million. I lost 2 million. Now my net worth is 10 million. But in that time, my net worth was before divorce was like 3.7 and I lost 2 million and I had to pay my ex-wife. And it was really, the situation was bad, but it hit me way worse because this time, I should have known better. That's the thing. I should have known better, and I shouldn't have made that mistake better. So that mistake again. So for a lot of you guys, you are a trader until you're blowing up. And you're usually one or two trade or one or two black swan event. This is called a black swan event. This trade war is not a normal thing in the market. It's a black swan event, and that can wipe out you. I got some emails from people, one or two people, that they had some very, very massive losses. I actually ran into one of our people that I know that he just said he had some leap options and stuff and he lost $600,000. So everybody is great until you make that one bad decision. So
Yeah.
remember, there's no point that you say, okay, I made it. Every single day you just have to survive.
Yeah.
Brian, how
And
long
I
did it
think
take
the
for
issue,
you to become a trader?
well, it's been quite a journey. I mean, geez, I traded the .com bubble, made money, lost money. Um, and yeah, I would say it's a journey for sure. And it's always a fight um, with your mental state and you know, like you said, you're one bad trade away from blowing up your account, and that's all you need. So it's always trying to stay disciplined. That's really the key. So whether you're swing trading or day trading, you really need to have a plan and you need to stick with it.
Okay.
Looks like this
Some
was
service there. Any more questions? Let's get some questions from the people because I'm not really trading anything. Market has really surprisingly um,
just choppy now.
choppy. I'm surprisingly is not volatile. Like I really thought that it's going to be way more volatile today. Um,
Yeah, I think that the issue with volatility is that, you get these couple of days that are really volatile, and then you need some kind of new event to either, keep the volatility up, or it's just going to kind of die off. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. All this tariff news, just constant stream of tariff news is getting, like I said, it's getting to be old news. So market needs new news to move stuff.
Prakash, mindfulness. I do sometimes do the meditation. For me, running is the meditation. I run every day, and it's very important for my mind to run. I'm not running it for my body. I'm running it for my mental health. So 1 hour run that I do every day is is a very big element of my mental health. Like because I do believe that like you go to the gym and train the muscles, you have to train the mind as well. And there are different ways. People do it differently. I don't do yoga or meditation, but my running is my meditation. It's just 1 hour I'm fighting with my own mind, and it's just releasing all of these things and everything that it goes. And the most important part that I found in my running is that you just have to observe who you are. When we are doing the mindfulness, there's so many things comes into your mind, and you don't have to engage with any of them. The real you is the observer of these anger and hate and greed and fuck and that do that kind of things. The real you is that observer of these uh, you know different thoughts that come to you. So you have to find your real self by observing this mini version of yourself in your mind. That's the truth. That's the real personality. So the observer for me is running, and yeah. And I really noticed that, for example, um, my mood as a trader, as someone who's engaged in the financial market every single day, wakes up with the financial market, my mood has gone up. I notice it completely that is going up and down with the market, and it's a very bad thing. It's a very, very bad thing. A lot of people are right now. Vancouver is beautiful, running, and they're going to. They don't know if the recession is coming. They don't know if the market is down. They don't know about the tariffs. They're living their life and they're enjoying it. They're raising family and everything. But because all of us are in YouTube or in chat room, we are directly connected to the financial market. You have to be very important that you divide yourself from this volatility. The volatility in the financial market shouldn't bring volatility in your life and your mind. And this is something that I've been trying to actually working on it recently. That's why this recent loss was so big for me, that because it was destroying me as a person, you know as a friend, as a son, my relationship with my mom, as a boyfriend, as everything was just destroying my personality, this volatility. And this is the lesson that I got from this. Obviously not using the leverage and everything was the lesson is to dissociate yourself from the volatility of the financial market to your personal life. And I'm in a very unique position because everybody sees my life. A lot of you have seen me from a really little guy and just going up and ups and downs and climbing mountains, buying the Lamborghinis, the Toyota and stuff, and that kind of thing. So you've seen all these ups and downs. So my life is a little bit more public, but it's very interesting to me that make sure that you dissociate yourself from the volatility of the financial market, get the mental stability.
Yeah, it's important not to let your trading affect your life because and if it is, you probably you're taking too much risk, and that's kind of how I can disassociate to some degree each day. Plus, I don't count on the market for money. I don't consider myself professional day trader. I don't need to make money each day. It's nice,
Yeah, I'm
but
really asking, do you feel better when you
if it's
sold? Yeah, I mean, accepting the loss, like was getting night sweats. It was really bad, like night sweats and stuff. So that's what I found is I'm an amazing day trader, but to be a good investor, I still have to learn a lot. I have to work on myself, be as a trader. Like my account when it came to $10 million, I'm not ready for it. This is not, I need to treat a $10 million account like a professional, and I'm not a professional. I'm just the main street guy, made some money in the market. And now this year for me, this event was for me to make sure that I actually change my perspective and behavior, toward investing, not trading. I think I'm an amazing trader. I believe in my day trading capability to finding these sharp patterns and execute them. Like even today, very nice profit we got in PLTR and stuff, but I lost my confidence um, on my as an investor, which I should. I deserve it. I was wondering, seriously considering that taking this money, giving it to the professional. Okay, charge me 1% a year, manage it professionally for me. I'm seriously considering it that. But I like to learn. I like to learn. I like to build a portfolio. I like to not messing around with it and like to control myself and everything. Um, but trading wise, I think it's amazing. Like this market is amazing. Look at that. The Qs are going to go red, plus 2%, minus two
yeah, look
percent.
at
It's amazing.
that, eh? Just took a quick short on Tesla.
I'm shorting Tesla.
Tesla's heading lower. Tesla, yeah, just broke the view app.
You're 1%. Yeah, John. That's a good point. Like I think building a portfolio is very easy. Like I can easily build a portfolio of a diversified 60-40, 70-30 portfolio for myself. But my problem is connecting this account. This is the dangerous part, is that I have access to that. And that's what happened. Like I was in a VO position, amazing. Like I was up $2 million, and I started setting that position and going into the leverage and stuff. So the controlling yourself is the thing. So what I'm gonna do is probably in this week, probably I'm gonna separate these accounts and different DAS, different platforms, so I can actually have a day trading account, and the long term investment is not gonna be on my reason, but everything is now consolidated myself. Like I have 3-4 accounts connected to this task. I'm gonna change this because I don't think it's right, and that's not. I'm also teaching you people should have different accounts separate for day trading, for long-term investment, for portfolios and everything. So it's very important to really know exactly where you're standing uh, with your investments.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I do with I have separate account for swing trading. I have my position accounts, my long-term investments, and I have my day trading account. They all separate, so I don't mix my strategies.
Yeah, and Mike is asking, are you actively manage the long-term account? This whole point is I shouldn't. There is nothing to be managed. If you build a portfolio of the 60-40 portfolio, which has been proven mathematically. I'm an engineer, PhD. Look, mathematically, science behind it is amazing. Then you shouldn't. There's nothing to manage. They do it for you. You buy VO, VCLT, like a combination of the 60% of equities, 40% bonds, and that's it. There is nothing to manage. You just forget the password and walk away and come back 10 years and see. Okay, now I'm retiring. I'm selling my house. This is for my kids and everything. And now I have this, going to Europe, having a really nice lifestyle. So that's why this Mike is going, like, for example, 2 months in Europe now. He's retired. He's a really good retirement plan, retirement thing, going traveling in Europe. So you shouldn't be actively managing an investment account. That's the whole lesson that I learned. PLTR didn't do anything. No, we got a good pop on PLTR though.
Yeah.
How much do you have? Tell me. Be honest. He pretended he didn't listen. He didn't hear me. I love that. Any question, guys? He's not hearing me. Selective muting, yeah. Um, uh,
Right. Well, let's see, what have we got here? We're gonna give away a laptop, maybe, or gonna teach someone how to fish.
give them a fish or give them a hook. Yeah. Coming in.
Right. So finding a bit of a bottom here, maybe. I don't know. Oh, the SPY bounce back.
Guys, I don't. It seems that I can't get this top picker to work for some reason. Maybe we do tomorrow. I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't really work on my computer now. I could probably restart my computer. So maybe we do tomorrow. Brian, how was your day?
It was okay. Yeah. Again, a little bit of a
Welcome.
more of a challenging market, but pick your entries and exits. I primarily playing Tesla. So
I think that Zach, paper trading is very important. Zach is asking a question: is it possible to add 3 more months paper trading? I think paper trading is amazing. Like paper trading is helping you forward testing your strategies and trade books. The back testing, I'm not really big believer in back testing. Forward testing, build your
yeah,
trade book. That's what the boot camp is about. We're putting you in with a group of people, and we're helping you build the trade book, and you are forward testing your trade book on a funded account or on a simulator account. Um, for the style of trading that we are doing, the back testing isn't really like we did some back testing with Carlos Artini and published papers and stuff on that. But you need to the execution. You need to forward test, and for forward testing is the best is to have the simulator account or a funded account if you want to go into the real, trading environments. Like again, it's like a flying academy that we're putting you in the simulator as much as possible. Into the real aviation environment, and then give you the real plane that you can actually fly. So yeah, do it as much as possible, and the moment that you think it's confident, go small size. Like don't get fooled by positions that I'm taking and PNL out. These are you have to really stay away from this kind of big PNL and buzzwords and stuff. It was just small, consistent money. Again, I always had very small, nice profit gains every single day, and these big losses that I had just because of taking big positions. So we're just making a small, gradual things and ignore the noise outside. If your account is small, like only $1,000, they probably shouldn't be trading. To my honesty, $1,000 accounts, maybe options are the ones that you can trade with the options. Day trading option could be something, but really $1,000 is not enough to start
Yeah.
getting into the financial market. All right, guys, handing it over to this YouTube picker. I have to restore my computer. It doesn't load up. So yeah, we'll do tomorrow. I'm just so sorry, and congratulations to all the winners. I'm profitable today. I had a really good trade on PLTR, and I had the one short of PLTR. I got a squeeze, but I flipped my position long. That was a really great trade, and yeah, I'll just stick to good trading day by day and see how it goes. Cheers, guys.
Hey guys.
All right, we're gonna disconnect from chat, and Paris should be on any minute now. And YouTube, stay on. We're gonna continue with you guys. Paris should be logging on in a second here, and we'll get his screen and rocking and rolling. Hey, Paris, how you doing?
Hey, Carlos. Good. How are you?
Good, man. How are you today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Scalp the hell out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's one of those days, man.
Yeah. How was yours?
Good, man. I had, well, not P&L wise, not great. I had a stop loss on Baba, small loss, and then I took a small partial just a few ago on Nvidia, and then got stopped out on the drop here. So overall
Uh,
red day, but really controlled, man. Not really risking too
very
much.
nice.
So yeah, tough week
That's
for me, man. This is like I only trade like 3 times this week, so it's like what the heck.
yeah, actually, I agree with you. Means I love this environment to be honest, because I'm more of a like scalping mindset. I
Right.
love that. But yeah, it has been very volatile. Like it has been like for me, it has taken a lot of trades to get in and get out, get in and get out. And it's not that easy, to be honest. I like taking like big meat of the move trades, but sometimes you have to understand the environment and trade accordingly. So
Yeah, agree, man. All right, man. I'll let you to it, and I'll be here.
perfect. You guys should be able to see my screen. And I'm currently short Nvidia. I'm currently short Nvidia from 98.60. Uh, I traded the hell out of Nvidia today. So uh, let's see. I think it comes back to my break-even point. I'll get out, but let's see. Hey, Anthony. So, how's everyone doing? Pretty good day overall. It's trying to go up a little bit, but yeah, now the bars are stepping up. Okay, stopped out break even. Stopped out break even. So every single trade that you see in front of me was a long, except for the last one. So that was my trading today. Uh, at the open, the stock was very, uh, strong overall. So now the things are gapping. Now they are trying to step up, Nvidia. And now if the SPY claims VWAP, it could be a break of high of the day. Overall, I was finding buyers at the open. The tape, there were few trades that I took. Let me bring up. It looks messy, guys, because it's the way of this scalping mindset that you would want to trade. But yeah, but every single trade, mostly of them were profitable. So this was long long cut size, and then scaled out, and then finally stopped out. Nothing crazy. This is where 98 was the area that I was finding buyers. 98 was a very strong buy. So I was trying to scale into the position for a engulfing, and then engulfing as in like squeeze to the upside. And then it was holding. Ideally, I was expecting to pop up right here, but it tried to drop a little bit. Then I cut my size, then added back my size because 98 was holding again. Because when it gives me multiple confirmation, then I add. This was a very heavy size for me. So I was tier 3 size on this, and then scaled out to the profits, and then added back in because ideally I want to see it hold the VWAP, but then I got stopped out break even. So that was my break even trade. But then again, it held the 98 60 area. It was buying at 98, then it was buying at 98.60. And then I used that to my advantage and then scaled out to the profits, pulled back, added more, scaled out to the profits, stopped out break even. So that was my third trade. And then I traded this one too. So this one was for my fourth trade. It popped up very quickly based on the tape. Added more. I was looking for this to scale out for the high of the day. Did not, stopped out break even. That's where I got back in because again 90 this area was holding 99.60, 99.80, and that's where I scaled out to the upside 180 and then stopped out break even. That was all it. So majority of my trades stopped out break even, but the second trade was very profitable for me because I was very heavy size on that. But rest now this is stopping out at break even. I traded Tesla too. Uh, I traded Tesla too. At the open, I was long on Nvidia, but I was mistakenly short on Tesla. I don't know why I was shorting Tesla. I think Brian was shorting Tesla. I was like, okay, let me see if there was a little bit of weakness there, but there was no reason for me to short at this point. I don't know why did I did that. So that was a couple of mistakes. I got back in, cut my size, got back in again, added more to the position, and then stopped out. So I was like, I don't like this. Then I traded long on the Tesla, popped up, and then stopped me out at break even. And then now it's actually stepping. Yeah, then it tried to go higher, but then sold off. So Tesla and Nvidia were the only ones I traded today. But difficult market overall from a because of the volatility, it's like very difficult to manage risk. You have to give either first of all room, or you have to be very sure about your entries. It's and one of my strength is that I can time entries very well, and that's why usually you'll always see stocks whenever I trade, they go in my favor and then go later, and they get back to break even. But yeah, so you have to be very quick in getting in, getting out if you are trading or scalping around. Hey, Adrian, Oscar, machine gun style. Yeah, you have to adapt to the market. So it's that's the nature of the market today. It's not gonna give you like a big move on the downside or the upside. I was thinking that maybe this is a sell-off, big sell-off. Usually you don't get deeper pullbacks. In a regular market, I would wait for a pullback somewhere around here or this area. But in this case, when sellers are aggressive, they tend to sell at step down much, much lower. It did drop maybe $1, but then stopped out. I was thinking maybe it could go to the PDC area. So but never went to PDC. But there are net buyers today. Like every single place that I took, it was there was no reason for me to sell until this point happened. Like this selling happened. I was like, okay, this is now there's a change in character and now it can go to higher. But now the buyers are stepping up again. So I think the buyers are gonna scale buy back, and I think this I might even go long again to understand if the buyers are trying to step in. But overall, I was seeing net buyers. And I now I what do I want to see here is I want to start seeing like the buyers have taken over. Now I do not want to like now you do not want to see selling around this area. I do not want the sellers to take over again, which is so now they are actually uh, trying to hold the 99 area. Let's see what it does at 99. So 99 drops. And maybe it like drops to 98.60, 98.80 area and then starts buying up again. That's what I would want to see. If that happens, I'll get long. So 99 is holding for sure. I think 99 will drop, goes to 98.60 or 98.80. If it doesn't, then I'll not get in. Yeah, 99 is holding. 99 dropped. 99.80 now. Very good. So let's see if it is 98.80. So 99 claimed. Mm, There's definitely a buying pressure here, but I want to see if the sellers are gonna still dominate or I wanna uh, if I should get in. Yeah, currently the sellers are trying to dominate. Drop 98.80, 76, 73. Yeah, the sellers are still taking over. No reason for me to get in, to be honest, on a long side. Or now there is a reason. Let's see if it holds here. Getting back in long on Nvidia. Long on Nvidia. Let's see if it pops up to the momentum should have continued by now. Let's see if it tries to pop up. 99 is selling. 99 has to lift very quickly. Boom, boom. Selling some. Boom. Boom. Ah, love you, Nvidia. Anybody take that, guys, with me? Anybody take that? Boom. Oh, love you, beauty. You take that, guys. This is exactly how you time it. That is exactly how you time it. That is exactly how you time it. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Yeah, nice. 999.74. Beauty. Beauty. In a matter of minutes, you're up $1. That's the beauty of scalping, guys. When things are volatile and when that things are quick, you can make a shitload of money. I did. Okay. Uh, I'm just watching now. Like, you don't have to watch the tape right now. You're in a driver's seat. Now you wanna, when you think about adding to the position, now I'm like, okay, it's a good thing. It claimed the VWAP. It claimed the now it broke out on the range. I think it should hold around this 99.40 area, 99.20 area. If I see like I would watch the tape again at 99.40 area, 99.20 area, and then see if it gives me to add more. I'm trading the price action. I am trading just the price action. Yeah, I think this time it can, if it claims the 100, I think it can go break the high of the day. And I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it for, actually, you know what? I'm thinking of adding more if it pulls back a little bit. Let's see if it holds here. This is the area it should hold. Yeah, this is the area it should hold. Let's see if it gives me another pull back to get back in, add to the position. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna go up, guys. I'm trying to see if I can get back in. Get back in as in like I can add more to the position. 41 is trying to hold. The 41 is buying. Yeah, 45 is buying now. With 30 here dropped. Adding more. Adding more. Let's see if it tries to pop up here. Again, that 41 is trying to hold. 41 should not drop from here. Yeah, 41 dropped. My average is 99, 19. Yeah, hold here. Come on, claim the for 99.41. Okay, it did not. Okay, it claimed. Okay, now it's, let's see the buying is gonna continue or not. No. It tried to claim, but I think the sellers are taking over now. Yeah, it's gonna drop now. The sellers are holding. If it claims 91.41, I'll try to add more. Yeah, I'm adding more. I'm adding more. It again did not claim this thing. I was thinking that should pop up by now.
BLIV, BLive Holdings, up to the high, halted on a circuit breaker, $4.57. 47%, very light volume.
41.
BLIV.
41 is holding, guys. It does definitely has that chance of breaking that 41. Now 34. 41 again. If it claims that 41, it will break like a boss. Now it break like a boss. Break like a boss. Break like a boss. 50, 55, 56, 57. Let's break like a boss. 60. I want 60. Come on. Give me 60. 55 is holding now. 55 is gonna break. Let's see if 55 gives us a break. I think 55 is gonna break soon. Boom, 60. It did touch 60. Let's see if it breaks 60. Nope. 55 is seller. 55 is selling, but it has to break 60 now. Again, 55 is again selling. Fight between 41 and 55. 41 and 55. 41 is holding buyer, 55 is selling. I want 55 to lift. Yeah, 41 is coming back again. So let's see 55 lifts.
Wall Street Journal reporting Friday deal for Versace at risk of collapsing amid market turmoil. Product can announce $1.4 billion deal for Versace as soon as Thursday. That from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, 41 is gonna drop now. 41 is still buying, guys. 41 is not willing to give up though. So 55 again. Oh, broke 55.
CPRI,
Come on.
Holdings,
Break 55.
Are
55 is selling again. 55 is again selling. Yeah, they're still fighting.
On that news.
55 is not lifting again. 55 needs to lift. If it lifts, it breaks like a boss. 55 just lifted. Again, the seller took over. So 41 and 55, guys, they are fighting. And you don't see it on the candle now. Why is this? You don't see it in the candle, but you will see it in the tape. 55 needs to lift. 55 is lifted again. Let's see if it claims break. Boom, boom. I love you. Beauty. 55 broke now. So now we are in the driver's seat again. So now it's gonna break to the upside. 75. Yeah, now the worst thing that could happen to me would be like it comes back below 55 and then sells again. That's not something that I would want to see. But now it's propping up, so 99.78. 80. Boom. Selling some. Guys, anybody are you guys able to get it what I'm trying to explain? Like, do you understand what do you want to see? Nice, Jeremy. And that's why even the ads, the longs, and these things have a very high accuracy. Like your entries are gonna be very, very accurate because you're trying to. Now it comes below 55 again. Yeah, that's not good. 55 is holding now. Or 55 did not let drop, so that's good. So 55 is holding. Nice. So that area, the exact place where it bounced from was 55. So it is not a blind level. It is like something you see it in front of you. So now 55 dropped. Now this is not good. Now if this happens, now if it comes to my break-even point, I'll get out. This is not good. I don't like this. Ideally, if it lifts, now you see this, if it lifts, usually when an important resistance get broken, I do not like seeing them coming back below that same level. And question could be that why am I not getting out? Because a lot of times, it drops a little 10, 15 cents and then drives higher, trying to absorb, right? The selling pressure is so high, the buyers are trying to absorb, and then sometimes it drifts below the important support less, like a little bit below the support of the resistance areas. And with the high volatile environment, these things are like these are very common to happen when you're in a high volatility. Very nice, Adrian. I think that's a very like that's if you can able to do that, Adrian, like that's what's called as a micro scalping, where you like 41.55, 41.55, you keep doing it, and algorithms are very good at doing it. Because we are not that fast enough to be able to capitalize on that quick moves up and down. And if you are able to do it, that's perfect. Like, yeah, thank you, Adrian. Yeah, thank you, Yama. Yeah, now it's continues to hold. Now, like the next level is technical level is gonna be 41. Simple. So 41 drops to, then I don't have any conviction on this trade. Yeah, 41 dropped. Yeah, I'm gonna stop out at my break-even point. Okay, getting out break even. I got a better fill. My break even was 29. So yeah, now like the sellers are taking over again. No conviction. Maybe should I flip it? Possible, but the only reason I'm not willing to flip it is because I saw buyers at the starting to step up, and I've been seeing buyers since the open, and that's why I'm not have a strong conviction to short it. This can drop a little bit more and then step back up, and I would be in a position to just chop around here there. So yeah, it's volatile, so you have to manage your risk here and there. But it was a good move from 98, 97 to 99, 88, close to a $1 move, so not bad. And now it's dropping, which is fine. You can drop as much as you want. I'm out of the trade. And that's the beauty of day trading, guys. Like you can get in, get out as quickly as possible, and you can make money on either sides, long or short. If you would have been an investor, your uh, as an investor, your price, if you the price is exactly at the place where it started. So these moves up and down, you're not capitalizing on it, and as a day trader, you can. See, the buyer stepped in again, and that's what I'm like very. You don't know when the buyer will step in again. Now it's again at above 99.40. Now this is gonna pop up 99.40 again, 99.41. Bought at 99.41. Yeah, 99.41 still buying. Man, this is gonna now it's gonna pop 51, 55, 55 again. 41, 55 still plays the role here. 41 and 55. I saw a buyer again at 41 and then seller at 55. Again, same thing. Came to 41 again and now holding 41. Yeah, again 41 is holding. Dropped and then dropped to 41 now. So SPY is doing nothing, to be honest. It's like done here or drop the PDC, then claim the PDC. Actually, it can rally from here. I wouldn't be surprised if it rallies from here. Like if it holds again and then maybe claims the 500, because I'm starting to see buyers. Though it's like if you see right now it's selling, but if it holds this area PDC again and then try to step up, that the trend can break on which has been lower lows and then actually go higher. And today it could be that day where it rallies, or maybe tomorrow. Yeah, currently it's looking like because it's the trend is on the downside. The trend is right here, so trend on the downside. But when it claims here, right, this area, when it breaks out and claims this area, usually it tends to break on the upside. But if it claims back, then this could be powerful. Like if it claims back here, and this drop would be powerful and goes to 490. And that's the whole reason I shorted this, like this area. Because this area, when it breaks like this, these can be very powerful moves to the downside. But didn't. But if this happened for the second time, that's another more powerful than the first time. But I think way the transactions are happening, the buyers keep taking over. Ideally, like in a very strong selling aggressive market, you don't see any participation of the buyers. Like yesterday. Yesterday it just continued to sell off later in the day, and there was no participation in the buyers. What I'm seeing with the tape and these all the tickers is that buyers are participating. Yes, there is a little bit of aggressiveness on the selling side at this point, but it's just a matter of time where the buyers step up and they rally. And once it claims the 500 around this area, breaks the trend, that's where you won't see sellers participating. You would start seeing buyers participating, and it would be a clear imbalance. So yeah, you just now the selling is taking over. Somebody slammed it on Nvidia too. See, that slam usually will lead to another sell-off to the downside. But what I'm saying is it's somebody slamming, but the buyers are buying back again. Like this is where you do not want to participate because you won't capture the move. And when I see something that I like this, even though it is selling, I would be more long bias than short bias, if that makes sense. Because I know that even that drop, like even though these candles are looking bearish, like you see all these candles are looking bearish, but I would love to take on the long side than on the short side. Guys, I'm taking a small long here, just nibbling size, very, very small size. But if it claims the this thing, I'll try to go heavy. But I'm taking a long on Nvidia. I think Nvidia, if it pops up higher from here, has a very good chance to scale to the 100. But only if it does that. And SPY is trying to set up that way right now. But I'm going against the trend, and that's why I'm like very small size to it. This is going against the trend. And that's where I don't like going heavy size. But if it breaks this, comes above the VWAP, and then if it holds there, then that's when I would go aggressive. So the trend is on the downside, and I have quite a bit of a room for me to handle this because I'm very small size on it. And if it claims this particular thing to the upside, I think we might like what I'm trying to do is set up my position. I'm doing my positioning. So how do I position myself when I have a thesis behind it and I am not confident on the trade? I'm trying to set up a position for myself that if this plays area, my risk reward would be very good if it tries to pop up. And I have a little bit of nibble size below that. Yeah, now the selling is taking over, very aggressive selling. Yeah, the sellers are taking over. Yeah, no reason to add here either. So I see sellers take over again. Uh, the SPY broke the PDC. I only took a nibble size, so I can hold this. No, no buying pressure, to be honest. Okay, getting out. No reason for me to stay in this. But somebody in this was shorting this. So Tiger, I trade through Schwab, so I don't. There are SEC and FINRA fees, but there's no commission for me. Oh, you were. That's why, Gaurav. That's why. So SPY is selling off. Qs haven't made the PDC yet. Yeah, Marv, Mr. Arv. I think yesterday was one of those days where I was very profitable, but that move on the later part of the day, which came in at 12, and I think the volatility is so good at this point that I changed my rule a little bit yesterday. So even though I'm up on the day, uh, I am gonna trade. And these are days where you can hit and draw, you can hit home runs. I think this is my market. Like this is my strength. So if I'm trying to play with my strengths, I think I don't mind getting in, but I still have that 30% give back rule. But if I give back 30% of it, I'm gonna stop on the day. But if I'm not, and I actually made more money in the trade that I was doing in front of you guys than so yeah, I changed my rule, and that's where you adapt to the market. You change your rules, you change your and not you don't change your rules when you're trading. You change your rules when you are analyzing your trades, when you are adapting to the market, which is like usually when you're trying to journal your trades. So you understand the rules, you understand the game change that has happened. And for me, I still have that rule of no, what do you call not trading after I'm down 30% from my top, like which is if I hit my target of the day, I still stop it, but I will continue. And for you, it could feel like it's a over trading, but over trading is something, there are two things. One is you don't have a setup, you don't have a thing, and you're trying to get into a position and just for the heck of it, or just to make your money back, or just want to prove yourself right. And that's one case of over trading. In this case, you have to scalp around. This market is the scalpers market. And I have seen prop firm traders who they trade like close to 200, 300 trades in a single day, and it's not over trading for them. So it always depends on what kind of a trader you are and how do you define yourself as over trading. Awesome, awesome, team. So it's always like, you see Andrew, you see me, you see a lot of Brian, you see all the other traders. The reason we go on YouTube and the reason we come here and showcase what our trading is because everybody has a different style. Everybody is going to have a different rule. So what we want you to do is to be able to impact in your trading, learn, see what everybody is doing, and trade what makes sense to you. Because what you can do is you can trade from everybody's going to have a different style. Not everybody can trade like me or Andrew or everybody like Thor is another guy, Avi is different guy who have a very, very different trading style. So try to simulate on what makes sense to you. That is correct, Nathan. So Tom, a good trader will eventually adapt to the market. They have to. If they are, so now see that the buying volume came in again. Something came in. Oh, wow, what a pop. Give me something that I can get back into. I don't know what this is. Okay, I'm getting back in, guys. I don't know what this is. I'm getting back in. Let's see if it's trying to hold. I was too late, to be honest, but let's see. I don't know what that volume was. Yeah, it could just be pop and drop. Let's see if it is not pop and drop, then I might want to scale into the position. Adding more on the Nvidia, adding more on Nvidia. Let's see if it has a pop to the upside. Beauty. Let's see if it holds here. Boom. Come on, don't sell it. I still want. I did not sell anything. I should have sold some. Let's see if it holds here. Let's come on, break 99.11. Yeah, that sounds good. I should have sold some at 99.11. So it's coming back down. Let's see if it is able to hold the position. Yeah, this could be a pop and drop. Adding more on Nvidia. Let's see if it can hold this thing. Adding more Nvidia, not lift. So Nvidia doesn't seem like it has that juice to pop out now. So I'm thinking of getting out at break even or getting stopped out. Yeah, it should have popped up by now. If it is not popping up by now, that's not good. Like the momentum play is gone. Okay, stopped out, guys. Stopped out on Nvidia. So that would have been a very good trade, to be honest. It just did not work out, but this is a very, like, it has worked out for me in the past multiple times. So yeah, this should have, if this would have worked out, that I would have been like amazing trade. So no more trading for me now. I'm back down below the 30% mark, and now I'm not gonna trade. But this would have, like, if this would have worked up, I'm very happy with like taking a stop out either, but very happy with the trade. Like this is my setup. Like if this usually works in my favor very quickly. So TechnoGoat, I think you do want to have access to the INET, ARCA, and IEX. There is Montage is a total view for NASDAQ, and then you have ARCA, which is ARCA book, and then you want to have IEX. So once you have all of that, that means that you have all the books. So Lan, the reason my setup overall is basically a momentum play in this case. So when I saw a big volume chunk pop coming back up at this point, this area, and when you see a lot of buying, either it's a news, I don't know what the catalyst was, what was this news about? There are multiple chances uh of this to work. Let me bring up Epic Pen. Where is this? Okay. So multiple chances are, first of all, this news is a it could be a catalyst. Something maybe Trump would have said something about pulling back this thing. I don't know what the news is. To be honest, if that was the news, this would have easily popped up by now. But maybe that wasn't the news. But when I saw the order flow coming in at this area, now I'm trying to see, give me a chance to get in. If it's a good news, then it very quickly in my favor. I'll be very, very happy. My risk reward would be very, exponential. So it's all about risk reward. Now you are trying to risk around, like, my stop loss was below 98.50. That was the area I was looking at. Okay, I'm gonna scale into my position at 99, 98.80, and when it pops up from 98.50 to 99, I do not want it to pull back more than 50%. So that's where if it does something like that, that's the setup is not there, right? And when it was trying to pop back up, like when I was adding at 99.70, 99.80 at this area, it was popping up to 99, but every single time it popped up, it went to like it dropped at that point. And that area where I started seeing a seller, I lost conviction on it that maybe this is not gonna go, because when it's a valid news, the buyers would dominate and squeeze the hell out of it. So yeah, that's where the initial indication was. It was basically, once I was trying to get long biased here at this point, this is the area where it has found a bottom at 98. 98 is the area that I was trying to use all day right here. Where did it go? Yeah, if you see here, 98 was the area that I was trying to use all day. Even this was 98 level where I saw a buyer. This was 98 level at this where I saw a buyer. So if I'm 98 has been that buyer who is not willing to give up. And when you see a news corresponding to it, and when it bounces from the same level of 98 that you were interested in, and then you start scaling in for higher positions for a continuation. So I do not like blindly just going long at 98, just thinking that 98 is an important level. I like confirmation. I like momentum. I like order flow. If I see those things in my thing, I don't mind trying to get back and looking for 100, 101, 102. So that's what my thesis or my setup looks like. And this also was try to change the trend as well. Like this was on the downside right here. This was a claim of the trend, try to hold it and then actually go higher. But it's just that it's the nature of the market. It just doesn't work out. And I'm very happy with the trading. Like this one was, I'm very happy with it at this area. And I'm very happy with the way I'm trading. I'm not trading with emotions. I'm not over trading with emotions. I am trying to see what my setup and what my thesis is, and I'm trying to use that. And that's where there's a difference between trading with emotions, trading with, all of that versus the other one. But yeah. Okay, guys, it's top of the hour. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.